People in the hotbeds have a different relationship with practicing. All in the preparation.
We are so hooked to Kevin, his teachings, and how we all are designed for greatness. We have transformed our lives, my wife and I, from where we were last year to where we've come. We've 10x'd our business, and I would attribute everything, the mindset change and what transformations we've gone through, to one entity, and that is Kevin.
It has doubled our business in this past year. It has given us more skill set, changed our mindset, which I think is huge. And Kevin is just really ultimately our hero and the best coach ever.
When I heard Kevin, he absolutely blew me away. Everything he said was just genuine. It was spot on. I'm an athlete myself, and I never knew how to take the skills that I had as an athlete and actually transfer them over into business.
Just started working with Kevin, listened to a lot of his presentations over the last year. I'm diving into those words that I think will help people to understand what it is that I bring.
This is my 6th Kevin Ward event that I've been to. I was with another coaching program, and I was in a year contract with that program, and actually 6 months into it, I found Kevin online, and I was learning more from Kevin's free YouTube videos than I was getting from my actual coach.
Double Your Listing Power has changed my life in the sense that it's helped me overcome my main obstacle, not only in real estate, which is that I'm new to the business and I don't believe in myself. These past couple days have been the first time I've been able to really, punch through that wall and find that change.
I'd been doing real estate part-time. I had at most done 4 deals a year. Showed up last year and I had a lot of stuff I had to get rid of in my life. And so fast forward a year later, I'm at my 2nd event, right? Obviously, this has been fantastic, and but we're 6 months into the year. I've done 18 deals so far this year. And I'm just like, I never thought I could do what I'm doing now. I'm just so happy.
I'm a real estate broker. I've been in the business for about 6 years. Kevin's training is like no other. It's really been life transforming for me, for my business, for my life. It's not just about how to make more money in real estate, but really about how to have the life that you want and how to create that through real estate.
I've been with Kevin Ward for about 2 years. I'm part of his inner circle, and we love it. He's authentic, he has heart. He can take your business like he's taken ours from a couple $100,000 a year to this year we're gonna probably do 2 to 3 times that.
No one gets in real estate just to sell a lot of houses. We got in real estate to have a life. And at Double Your Listing Power Training Camp 2019, we will help accelerate you on the path toward having the income that you want so that you can have the lifestyle that you deserve. You can get yes without the BS and live into your true greatness while having the impact that you were meant for. So register today and we'll see you right here for Double Your Listing Power Training Camp 2019. We'll see you here. People in the hotbeds have a different relationship with practicing. All in the preparation.
We are so hooked to Kevin, his teachings, and how we all are designed for greatness. We have transformed our lives, my wife and I, from where we were last year to where we've come. We've 10x'd our business. And I would attribute everything, the mindset change and what transformations we've gone through, to one entity, and that is Kevin.
It has doubled our business in this past year. It has given us more skill set, changed our mindset, which I think is huge. And Kevin is just really ultimately our hero and the best coach ever.
When I heard Kevin, he absolutely blew me away. Everything he said was just genuine. It was spot on. I'm an athlete myself, and I never knew how to take the skills that I had as an athlete and actually transfer them over into business.
Just started working with Kevin, listened to a lot of his presentations over the last year. I'm diving into those words that I think will help people to understand what it is that I bring.
This is my 6th Kevin Ward event that I've been to. I was with another coaching program, and I was in a year contract with that program, and actually 6 months into it, I found Kevin online, and I was learning more from Kevin's free YouTube videos than I was getting from my actual coach.
W Listing Power has changed my life in the sense that it's helped me overcome my main obstacle, not only in real estate, which is that I'm new to the business and I don't believe in myself. These past couple days have been the first time I've been able to really, punch through that wall and find that change.
I've been doing real estate part-time. I had at most done 4 deals a year. Showed up last year and I had a lot of stuff I had to get rid of in my life. And so fast forward a year later, I'm at my 2nd event, right? Obviously, this has been fantastic, and we're 6 months into the year. I've done 18 deals so far this year. And I'm just like, I never thought I could do what I'm doing now. I'm just so happy.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this special training webcast called Crush It 2019 and Beyond. That's what the ... means. It is Crush It 2019 and Beyond. And yes, we are live. It is, what is today? January 24th, 2019. So congratulations. Thank you for joining me. We are packed. We have over 500 people already on the webcast and more coming. So we're excited to have you on. And so for the next hour and a half, I am going to give you everything I got. Everything I can give you in the next hour and a half, we are going to just unload it. So I want to tell you a couple of things. Is one, how much I appreciate you being here. And just to let you know that at the end of the live webcast, for those of you that stay on until the very end, we're going to give you a bonus training on the success map for realtors, your daily success map. Your daily success map, which normally is only given to our 100-day challengers. I'm going to give that to everybody that stays on for free. I'll tell you how to get access to that for those of you that stay on till the end of the webcast. Also, at the end of the webcast, we'll spend about 10 or 15 minutes doing Q&A. So if you've got a great question that you're going to get through the training, okay, as we go through here, if you have a question about anything we've talked about here on how to crush it in 2019, you can post your questions. Our team is monitoring that, and then they'll be printing those questions out for me and handing those to me at the end so that I can answer the questions at the end. So if you ask them throughout the training here, I'm not going to be watching them because otherwise we won't get through the content. So I want to make sure we get through the content. The other final thing is make sure that you get rid of all the distractions for the next 90 minutes. My promise to you is if you'll invest the next 90 minutes, you're going to learn exactly what to do to help you add 6 figures to your business in 2019 and ... beyond that. So we're going to be talking about in this webcast today, the 3 secrets to crushing it with the future of lead generation and lead conversion in the real estate industry instead of being crushed by the 3 big, probably should be called the 3 huge changes that are happening in the real estate industry right now. They're not coming, they're here, they're happening. All 3 of these changes are dramatic. They're hugely impacting the industry. They're going to have a huge impact on the future of your business. And if you are not prepared for the 3 big changes that are happening right now in the real estate industry, you will be crushed. And that's what's going to happen. Unfortunately, that's what's going to happen to most of the industry. And I want you to be prepared going in. So are you prepared for the big 3 changes? Because here, see, when I first started selling real estate, now I started selling real estate in 1998. So this was back in the 1900s when it was a different world. Things were different, and things that we're training today didn't even exist when I started selling real estate in the 1900s. But what did exist back then was people that wanted to move, people wanted to buy houses, people wanted to sell houses. And our job as real estate agents was to facilitate that and help them get great results. When I first started, I was told if you want to get more business fast, then you need to get listings. And if you're going to get listings, you need to go talk to for sale by owners and expireds, because that's the best way to do it. And my coach, Dan Galt, finally convinced me to go door knocking one day. And I'd been prospecting on the phone and calling them. I'd been getting some success, but I was scared to go door knocking. And if you've ever done anything in real estate that made you want to wet your pants scared, you know what I'm talking about. And I was like, oh, I was so nervous. And so I finally worked up the nerve. Some of you have heard me talk about it, that the very first for sale by owner that I went to door knock, first, I walked up on their porch, never even got to the door because he just let out this big yell from through behind the screen door. I just remember hearing this voice go like, "Are you a realtor?" And I'm totally flipping out. I'm like, I'm sure I said something to the effect of, "Yes, sir," because I was taught to be polite. You always say, "Sir." "Yes, sir." And he says, "Then get the blank off my porch." And it literally cold cocked me, not physically cold cocked me, but cold cocked me from door knocking for good. I mean, it was years before I ever went and knocked on another door. It completely took me out of the game. Why? Because I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared for that kind of reality slapping me in the face. And the three big changes that are happening in the real estate industry, most realtors are not prepared. And what I'm going to do over the next hour and a half is prepare you for those big three changes. So first, let's talk about what are the three huge changes that are coming in the real estate industry right now. They're not coming, they're here. And whoa. So I just got a note handed to me of over 660 of you guys on this webcast live. So congratulations for joining. And I'm going to let you know right now, of the 660 of you guys that are on right now, I'm going to be totally straight up, totally honest with this. I'm probably only talking to about one tenth of you. Okay. And this is not to say anything other than to say that 90% of you are going to get crushed by the changes that are happening. You don't have to, but you are. Because most agents are not willing to do what's required to crush it. Then they're going to get crushed because it is going to be the haves and the have-nots in the real estate industry. The gap between those who are the mega top producers and those who are just barely trying to survive, that gap is growing and it's going to continue to grow. You're either going to be one of those agents who is crushing it and dominating and killing it, or you're going to get killed. So I just want you to kind of decide right now, am I one of the 60? Am I one of the 10% that is actually going to do something in real estate, that is actually going to crush it and not get crushed? Where are you going to show up? Okay? Because whatever you think about real estate today, changes are happening and changes are here that are changing the game, and it takes preparation for all of them. So here's the three big changes. And as we go through here, where do you find yourself in how you're going to react to this? So number one, the first obvious big change in real estate is technology. Technology has been a game changer, my friends. It is what I call the great disruptor. You've heard of it they talk about disruptive technology, that it is a disruptor in the status quo of the real estate industry. And it is. Now, the thing about it is it's really good news, not bad news, unless you're not prepared for it. If you're not prepared for it, technology is like, oh no, we're going to go the way of Uber. Well, until you understand how to dominate, like Uber has dominated. All right. Learning how to adjust and adapt and be prepared for that, you, my friend, can become the disruptor. So do you want to be the disrupted, or do you want to be the disruptor? That's the first big question. The second big change that's happening in the real estate industry is what I call the trust factor. And that is simply the fact that when you go out and you talk to people, that you talk to prospects, whether they come to you or you go to them, if they walk into your open house event or they're referred to you, or you find them as a lead that you generate online, or you call them or you knock on their door or you meet them at a networking event, here is the bottom line. People don't trust realtors the way they used to trust realtors. Now, our reputation has not been stellar, for my whole career, and maybe not ever, I don't know. But what I know is when I started real estate back in the 1900s, if you knocked on somebody's door, called them, and they answered, and they did back then, way more than they do today, even if they were annoyed, people generally would give you a hearing. In fact, there was a study done in 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, I think it was in late 2016, where they studied the responsiveness of people in general to a sales call or a sales presentation. Like if you knocked on their door or called them on the phone and they answered, what is the receptivity? And here's what's crazy. If you set up a meeting, whether it was an appointment, a presentation, knocked on the door, in the 1990s, the average person would give you 20 minutes. On average, they would give you an average of 20 minutes to hear your pitch, to hear your opportunity, right? The average American today will give you 7 seconds, which simply means they're not willing to listen. They don't trust you. And the Gallup poll did this study back in 1973 where they asked Americans in the United States, they said, do you trust your neighbor? And in 1973, nearly 2/3 of all, or over 2/3 of all Americans said, yeah, I trust my neighbor. When they did that study 3 years ago, they asked the same question again, do you trust your neighbor? And it had completely flipped. And this time, over 2/3 of the respondents said, no, I don't trust my neighbor. My friends, that is a drastic shift in the trust factor of when you talk to somebody, you have to now assume they're not going to listen to you with trust. They don't trust you. They don't believe you. They're skeptical. They're guarded. They're defensive. They're protective. And they're looking at you and going like, okay, what are you trying to pull over on me? Right? And you know I'm telling the truth. That's just the way it is. So it is more difficult than ever before. Not only is it harder to get in touch with people, to get people to actually talk to you, but once you can get them to talk to you, it's more difficult to win their hearts. In fact, here's what's so crazy. I know that you're watching me right now. And if you just heard about me, like if you just found me on YouTube last week and you've seen one video, or you saw me somewhere and on a Facebook and you got this ad and you're like, okay, I opted in. I just asked for a free for sale by owner script, or I just got a copy of your book of Yes, and I don't know who you are and all that. I guarantee you, of this 600 or 700 people that we have on right now, there is a high percentage of you that are sitting there going like, okay, I know you're going to try to sell me something at the end, and I am, and you're going like, and I don't trust you. I think you're just out for the money. You already come at me with distrust. Here's my advantage. I know that. And I'm totally cool with it. I totally get it. And I totally understand it, because if you come knock on my door, I'm not going to trust you either. Right? I mean, it's just the way we are. I live where, by the way, our house here that we live in, we've been here for over 2 years. Last week, I just got to share this. I had for the second time, and my office is at home. So we run our company from home. And for the second time in over 2 years, a real estate agent actually knocked on our door. Okay, now we're in a 7-figure neighborhood. There's not a house in here that's worth even close to $1 million. They're way over that. And I'm like, people go like, nobody wants, door knocking everybody's doing it, or nobody. I'm telling you, it's such a surprise when somebody knocks on my door. I'm like, I want to invite you in just to like, wow, you got some nerve knocking on doors today. I love it. And so I'm telling you, if you think knocking on doors like is out of fashion or it's not going to work, you are wrong. Just telling you. Even though you still got to deal with this. Trust is the new resistance. Is that the new resistance is not that people don't like sales calls. It's that they simply don't trust you. You got to be prepared for that change. How do I build trust in a distrustful environment? Okay, and I think our public discourse, the media, politics, and all of that are just crushing the trust factor in our country. And so people are less and less trustful all the time. And if you're going to win business and you're going to get people to hire you and work with you, they got to trust you. And that is becoming more and more difficult. So that's number two. The third big change that is happening in real estate is what I call the turn. And that is simply the turn in the market. And I've been talking about this now for probably over 6 months, that we have peaked and we are now in the turn. Now, what's going to happen? How fast is that turn going to happen? How far? I don't know. But I just saw in the Wall Street Journal yesterday, the Wall Street Journal said home sales in December nationwide in the United States were down over 6.5% year over year. And it's the first time like since 2015 that home sales have gone down at all. There's so much volatility in the stock market and trade and politics. Our government shut down with all the stuff that is going on. There is just this like uncertainty, and you're seeing it. You're seeing days on the market is up in almost every one of the major markets in the United States. Days on the market is up double digits. Inventory is down double digits, and in a lot of places it's down over 25%. Number of home sales are down. Prices are coming down. We, my friends, are in a market turn, and it's just part of the cycle. When markets go up and markets come down, and when markets go down, it's harder to make money unless you're prepared. And when you're prepared for it and you know what's coming and you know how to deal with it, you understand the times and you know what to do, you can crush it. And there will be more wealth created in the next downturn than there has ever been created in the history of the world. Just like there was in 2007, 2008, 2009. You guys, we look at it because the masses got crushed. But those that were prepared became multimillionaires and billionaires because they were prepared for it. And the opportunity is here. It's ready for you if you are prepared for the coming market shift. So you got to make a decision. Am I just going to kind of walk on blindly through this and keep listening to the average real estate agent and listen to the average, what brokers are saying and trainers are saying, just saying, get ready, it's coming. What does that mean? How do I get ready? And I'm going to help you today know how to get ready for that. So let's now dive into, that's the three big changes that are here that are going to crush a lot of real estate agents. So let's talk about the three secrets so that you can crush success rather than the market crushing you in 2019 and 2020 and beyond. In fact, I'm going to call this the future of lead generation and lead conversion in the real estate industry. So I'm just going to introduce you to the three secrets, and then we're going to spend our time going through exactly what those mean and how to master those secrets. So secret number one, if you want to crush it in 2019 and 2020 and beyond in your real estate business, is understand secret number one. And that is that whoever wins the most motivated seller wins the game. That's how you win the game. You get the money and you get the pretty life. You want the money and the pretty life, then know this, that if you want to win in your life, you got to win the most motivated sellers. Whoever can go out there and get the most sellers to say yes and gets the listings, gets the sales, whoever does that wins the game. Number two is secret number two is how to get full commissions every time while everyone else is caving into what I call the cheap side of real estate. How can you compete when there are these disruptors that are coming in, not only iBuyers, but the discount brokers. And in every up market, they explode and they come out of nowhere. They come out of the woodworks. And now because of technology, they're even more. And my friends, there's even a real estate company right now out there that is growing and getting tons of capital injection, venture capital, that basically says we will list and sell your home for free. Total MLS service and all of that. They make their money on ancillary services and on, like, if you want staging or you want an extra photography or whatever, but they're like, we'll give you sign, we'll give you logbox, we'll give you pictures, we'll put it on the MLS, we'll do everything for free. Let me say that again, for free. We're not talking about discount brokers, we're talking about free. How in the world are you going to compete with that? Well, you got to learn the secret of how to get full commissions every time while everyone else is caving in and freaking out. Guys, and we've seen this now, this trend happening over the last 5 or 6 years. And that is that even as we got into the economic recovery and starting in 2011, 12, as the market picked up, as number of sales went up, home prices went up dramatically, guess what happened to real estate agent commissions? While everything else is going up, real estate agent commissions continued to go down. Why? Downward pressure on commissions. And if you don't know how to deal with it, guess how you're going to get your business? You're going to go down with it. All right. Now, if you want to go that way, you can go that way, but I'm telling you, you're not going to have massive success that way. So that's secret number 2. And then secret number 3 is why now is the best time ever to succeed in real estate sales and how to do it. People are worried like, no, right now, it is the best time. So we're going to talk about, we're going to break all these down. So first, let's go into secret number 1, and that is that whoever wins the most motivated sellers wins. Now, the secret to this, how do I do that? How do I get sellers? How do I get listings? How do I list and sell a lot of properties? And the secret is what I call the seller vortex that I'm going to be introducing you to on this webcast today, and that is the seller vortex. It is the secret to crushing it in 2019 and beyond. And the name of the game is whoever wins the most motivated sellers wins the game. So what does that mean in terms of focus and execution? And that is that all lead generation, let me repeat this, A-L-L, how much is that? It's 100%. All of your lead generation should be focused on sellers. 100%. You aim at one target, and that is, I want to win with sellers. That's it, period. How much time should I spend working with buyers? Well, if you got a great buyer, I'm not saying don't work with buyers. What I'm saying is don't spend any time, money, or resources trying to generate buyer leads. Because when you win with sellers, when you win with motivated sellers, you get listings. When you get listings, you get houses for sale. When you get houses for sale, you have what buyers want. So guess what? Buyers will come to you for free. All 100% of your lead generation should be seller focused. If you are spending a dime on social media market or internet lead generation trying to get buyers, you are killing yourself and you are flushing opportunity down the drain. You're probably flushing money too, but you're definitely flushing opportunity down the drain. So what do we do here? You focus on winning sellers. Now, I'm going to give you an epiphany that I didn't get for a long time, because when I first started selling real estate, my broker, Mike Bowman, Century 21 Mike Bowman in Grapevine, Texas, #1 Century 21 office in the world back then. I think still they've been like #1, like 19 out of 21 years or something like that. Mike Bowman is this great, amazing broker. And when I first started real estate, he would say this at every sales meeting over and over and over again. He never stopped preaching this. And he said, listings are the name of the game. Listings are the name of the game. Listings are the name of the game. And I've heard that. And I heard other people say, listings are king. You get listings, you win the business. And I'm like, yeah, listings are the name of the game. And he was almost right. But then I realized one day, and this was an epiphany, I want to be honest, I've been in real estate for over 20 years now, full time. And it was only this year that this epiphany really, really hit me. And that was, he was almost right, but he was wrong. And that is no disrespect to Mike Bowman. I think he's probably one of the best brokers in the world of all time. But he was wrong. Listings are not the name of the game. Sellers, motivated sellers, are the name of the game. So you want to crush it? Focus on winning sellers, not focus on getting listings. Now you got like, okay, what's the difference? I mean, if I get listings, don't I get sellers? Yeah, but see because I was so focused on getting listings, here's what I would do. I would go in, I didn't give a crap about the seller. And it showed. I was just there to get a listing because that's what everybody said, get listings, get listings. And I was like, okay. And so what you focus on, that's what you focus on. And when you focus on something, you go after it, and everything else becomes like, if you're truly focused, it becomes like everything else becomes irrelevant. And it hit me that the more focused I got on getting listings, the less of a good guy I became. And I'm not proud of this, but I got to where that the point was like, because here's what I was taught. When you go prospect and you talk to people, you ask them if they want to list their house. If they don't want to list your house, then say, I don't ever want to talk to you again. Now, I don't think they were literally trying to tell you to not ever talk to them again, but it was just saying, I want you focused on listings. Don't focus on people that aren't moving. And what happens is when you start doing that, you start caring more about the listing than you care about the people. And here's the deal. Nobody out there ever, never, not a homeowner, not a seller ever wants to list their house. They want to move. And they want a real estate agent that actually cares about them. See, whenever you're focused on getting listings, what you're focused on is something for you. I mean, because what's the difference between focus on getting listings and focus on getting a paycheck? Nothing. I'm still focused on something for me. If I go to a seller and go like, here's what I want to do today. I want to get your listing. Does that inspire them to want to work with you? And the answer is no, because they think you're in it for yourself, because your whole perspective is I want to get something from you. Now, if you meet somebody and you know that their only reason for talking to you is they want to get something from you, how warm and fuzzy do you feel toward them, right? How much attraction, how much how safe do you feel talking to them when you know that all they care about is getting something from you? And you can tell, right? I mean, honestly, you can tell when somebody's motivation is just to get something from you. So when your focus is on getting listings, you're focused on the wrong thing, my friend. You're focused on getting something for you. They don't want to work with you because they don't feel safe. They think you're just in it for yourself. But the moment that I focus on what they want, not what I want, everything changes. Whoever wins the most motivated sellers. Notice when I talk about the secret, I didn't say, I'm going to go back to it. I think I can. Yeah. Whoever wins the most motivated seller wins. I didn't say whoever wins gets the most listings. I'm talking about focusing on the people. That don't focus on the listing, focus on the people. Focus on winning sellers, not just getting listings. Why? Because when you win the client, you got the listing. But you got more than just a listing. You also get their loyalty. You get their trust. You get their heart. Why? Because now they know they care about you. Yes. Yep. My team is asking me, did I tell you about the bonus? So for those of you that joined us late, by the way, we've got over 700. I don't know how many people we have on. How many people do we have on live now? So over 730 people on right now. So congratulations. Thanks for joining me. I just was at the beginning. I told you, if you stay until the very end, as my appreciation for you just committing the time and investing the time, we're going to give you a free bonus of the Real Estate Agent Daily Success Map that only goes to my 100-day challenge members, but you're going to get it for free today as a bonus. And we'll tell you how to get it when you stay on until the end. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure you got that, but this is why you focus on the sellers, not the listing, guys. And I'm telling you, it's so powerful because now the moment they feel safe, when they know you're not in it just for yourself, you're in it because you want to help them, all the resistance goes away, which helps conquer that big change. And that is people don't trust you. It's when they feel safe and they know you're there for them, not for yourself. Now they trust you. And you guys know that's true. When you're talking to somebody and you know they care about you and not just the money, you trust them, right? So that is so huge. Now here's the thing. When you get the sellers, you get the listings. Now here's why all your focus should be on winning with sellers. Is because when you win with sellers, you get listings. When you get listings, listings give you control. They give you control in the market. They give you control of your personal economy. Now, here's the thing. Let's just say right now, as the market turns, that we actually end up going into a recession. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen this month or even this year, but we're going to get into a recession at some point. My commitment is I want to help you just not participate. Like recession comes, like, you know what? We're just not going to participate in the recession because we're going to create our own economy. And my friends, if you know how to prepare and you're prepared, you know what to do when the next recession hits. You do not have to be a victim of the recession. You can be your greatest opportunity of your life if you're prepared. And so when you have listings, you have control of your own economy. You get control of your time. Okay, here's the way I looked at it. Because again, I remember when I started, I was like, get listings, get listings, get listings. So I did. And every time I got a listing and I put it on the MLS, here was my thought. I just hired 1,500 real estate agents to work for me on the weekends. That's what I looked at it. Okay, it's not right, wrong, whatever, I don't know, but it's the way I looked at it. And that is, I knew this, that all the agents out there that had buyers, because I knew I was never going to have all the buyers. I didn't want all the buyers. I couldn't handle all the buyers. You can't either. But they're all out there. And so if there's 20 buyers out there that are looking in that price range for a house like yours in that area, like this listing, the moment you took that listing, you're going to put the word out, and all those agents that have those buyers, they're going to come work for you. Because they're going to bring those agents, those buyers in, they're going to show them the house, they're going to fall in love with it, they're going to write the offer, they're going to bring it to you, and all you got to do is help your seller get the best terms and price. It was just like, it was so beautiful. It gave me control of my time. Now, when I started selling real estate, I didn't want to work on weekends, so I didn't. I think like 2 or 3 times I held an open house my first month or 2 in the business because that's what they said you had to do, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And I did it. I didn't like it because I didn't know how to do one. Now, we actually train you as part of the Seller Vortex today, how to do an open house event, which is a totally game changer. But you don't even have to do it on weekends if you don't want to. That's a different story we'll talk about. I don't think, we're actually not going to talk about that in today's training, but just so you understand, listings, when you work with sellers, you get time control. Buyers, you got no time control, right? You got no time control. What else do listings give you? They give you buyers. They give you because you got what buyers want, right? Buyers don't want agents. Buyers want houses. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for a house. They're not looking for an agent. They consider an agent a necessary evil. And now they don't used to, if a buyer wanted to buy a house, what was the first step? Well, we need to find an agent so we can find out about all the houses for sale. Today, they don't need you for that. They don't need you to find out about the houses. They don't need you to look at the houses. They don't need you for anything except to write an offer. And they can go directly to the listing agent to do that. So when you're trying to work with buyers, my friends, you are working with a more and more difficult commodity, or a more difficult and difficult opportunity to be able to serve them and get paid. It gives you market presence. What does market presence give you? Credibility. It gives you leverage. And that leverage is what allows you to get more business and more business and more business and more business. And we'll talk about some people, some agents right now that are just crushing it because the listings that they are taking, it is giving them huge market domination. So secret number 1, he or she who wins the most motivated sellers wins the game of business and the game of life. Number 2, secret number 2 is how to get those full commissions every single time while everybody else is caving in, reducing their commissions, cutting their commissions, working more and getting paid less, and how to do it without BS, without bait and switch, without bogus statistics, without any of that kind of stuff, without bad sales. All right. So how do you do it? How can you, in 2019 and 2020 and beyond, how are you going to be able to get full commissions every time while there's real estate companies out there that are offering to list and sell somebody's house for less and less, and yes, even for free? How do you win? Well, here's how you win. You have to make a choice. And here is your choice. You get to either be cheap or you become the best of the best. You have to make a decision. You see, in today's market, you either have to be the cheapest or you got to be the best. And my friends, there is no middle ground. If you want to compete today, you either be the cheapest, you rock bottom, you got to sell. As they talk about Walmart, they say they stack them deep and cheap. It's all volume. They have to sell so much product to back, and I don't know, it's probably about 10 years ago when Walmart became the largest corporation, the largest company in the world. And I don't even remember what their numbers were, but in terms of their billions and billions of dollars in revenue, and yet their profit margin was razor thin, still is razor thin. In fact, companies like the wholesale clubs like Sam's Club and Costco, that those companies, their margins are so razor thin that the only profit center they have is your membership cards. They literally lose money on the product sales. In other words, the whole reason you go to Costco, the whole reason you go to Sam's Club is to buy products cheaper. You buy them cheaper and they make zero money off that. The only thing they make money on is that you have to buy a ticket to come in and shop. And they make money on the memberships. That's it. That's all they make money on. Isn't that interesting? Now they may have a few other now niche because they've gone into travel and they've gone on all this other stuff. The other services they provide, they may make some money on that or not, but they're razor thin margins. Well, do you want to compete on that? Do you want to compete with Purple Bricks? Do you want to compete with these companies that are now going lower and lower on discount commissions who will not only put it on the MLS, so some of them are limited services, but others of them, they'll give you the service. They're cheaper. You got to decide, am I going to be the cheapest or be the best? Because here's the reality is, there is no value in being the second cheapest. There's no value in being anywhere in the middle. Because if I'm a seller and I'm looking for the cheapest agent, why would I hire you if you're doing, you're doing 4.5% or 5%? When there's somebody else out there that'll do it for 3% total. And they'll give 2.5% to the buyer's agent and 0.5% for themselves, or they'll do it for a $495 flat fee. Why in the world would they hire you for 4.5% when somebody else will do it for $495? How are you going to compete? You got to be the cheapest or you got to be the best. There is no middle ground. If you're anywhere in the middle, my friends, if you're anywhere in the middle, and I want you to think about this, where is the majority of real estate agents? And here's where everybody is. The masses are in the middle ground. There's only one that's the cheapest. And there's only one or two or three that are the best in your market. And everybody else is in the middle. And guess what you do? You're scrapping for business. You're chasing sellers, please. And it's almost like you're begging for business. Here's why. Because when you're in the middle, you're nothing from seller's perspective, you are nothing more than a doormat in a warehouse full of doormats. There's just nothing special. There's nothing different. So you have a 70-point marketing plan. Well, somebody else has a 92-point marketing plan, and somebody else has a 108-point marketing plan. You're just a commodity. How do you win? You become the best. Because you got to make the choice. Am I going to be the cheapest or am I going to become the best? Here's the deal. If you want to be the cheapest, I can't help you because I don't like cheap crap. I don't like it. And so here's the thing. I want you to think about this. You're like, well, what about is that really if you become the best, is that really going to work? So I want you to think about, let's say you decide, I want a new smartphone. Okay. You want to get a new smartphone today, right now. You can go down to your local Walmart and you can get a brand new smartphone. I mean, touchscreen, everything for $19.48. You can get it online too. Check it out. $19.48. Okay. Now it's been about a month since I checked that, but it was $19.48 in December of 2018. $19.48. You can get a smartphone, or you can go to the Apple Store. And I was in the Apple Store a couple of weeks ago. And when I walk in the Apple Store, it was in the Manhattan Village here in Manhattan Beach, California. Walked into Manhattan Village. The mall is deserted. It's just like nobody's there. And then you see this big glass wall with this big white apple, and you walk up to it and you look in and it's packed with, 100 people in it. You're like, what in the world is going on there? Well, my friend, if you've never been to an Apple Store, that's going on there all the time. You can walk into an empty, deserted mall, and one store that is always packed is the Apple Store. And every time they come out with a new iPhone, what happens to the store that day? They're packed. And then there's a line, and there's velvet ropes, and people are lined up. What are they lining up for? To buy a smartphone. You mean you can get a smartphone at the Apple Store for less than Walmart? Oh, no. $19.48 at Walmart. You want an Apple? Oh, you want an iPhone? An iPhone 10? Oh, that starts at $1,149. $1,149 for that? Can you even imagine $1,149 for that? And not only are people willing to pay it, they line up to pay it. Why? Because people perceive Apple and iPhones to be the best. Now, you can argue all day you want about, well, Samsung's better. Probably. But see, Apple has crushed everybody because they have done a better job, not only of creating a quality product, but of positioning themselves right here. The best of the best. And because of that, people will line up and pay over $1,000 to get a smartphone when all you got to do is get into a car and go to another store where there is no lines. Well, they do have lines, but that's only on Black Friday, and you do not want to be anywhere close to that line when that happens, right? You can go right down there and get one for $20, or you can go stand in line and pay over $1,000. And yet, where people are lining up is to pay $1,000 for over $1,000 for a cell phone. Why? Because that's the power of positioning yourself to be the best. Now, is everybody going to be an iPhone 10 user? No, not going to happen. But see, that's who Apple wants to work with. And that's what probably the sellers that you want to work with, they're the ones that are willing to pay for the best because they want the best results. You see, here's the thing that a lot of real estate agents don't understand, and that is that every single seller that you talk to, every prospect, every lead has one unspoken question. One. Every objection they give you. How long have you been selling real estate? How many homes have you sold in my neighborhood? Where were you when my house was on the market? Every single one of those objections is really their way of asking one question. And the question is this: are you really the best agent to get me the best results? That's all I want to know. Are you the best agent to get me the best results? Now think about it. If whatever market you're in, here in LA, average home price is over 600,000 or whatever it is. It's going to be less, but whatever it is today. And where I live in the beach cities, the average house value is over $1.5 million. Wherever you are, let's say the average home price is 500,000. I've got a $500,000 asset and I'm going to sell it. Who do I want representing me in the sale of that house? Yeah, you know what? Just give me an average mediocre agent. I'll just take anybody that has a license. No, that's not what they want. What do they want? They want this. They want the best results. And to get the best results, they need the best agent. So what do they want? They want the best. I mean, have you ever been interviewed? And if you've been around selling real estate for a long time and you've gone on a lot of listing appointments, how many times has anybody ever said, you know, what I'm really looking for is like the third or fourth best agent. I really don't want the best. I just want a mediocre, maybe better than average, just pretty good. No, they want the best. Are you the best agent to get me the best result? Now, the problem is they don't know how to tell, right? I mean, how do you tell who's the best? And so since they don't know how to determine it, they ask questions like, how long have you been selling real estate? What are you going to do to sell my home? What are you going to do different than other agents? How much is your commission? What are they asking? Are you the best choice for me? That's what they're asking. Are you the best choice for me? Well, here's the secret. Okay, how do you get full commissions? Learn how to get better results for sellers every single time and be able to prove it. Okay, if you're taking notes, and I hope you should be taking notes, by the way, you should be taking a lot of notes right now. Write this down. Here's the secret to getting full commissions every time while everybody else is caving in. Learn to get better results than anyone else can get. How to sell their home faster and for more money. Learn how to do that. Learn how to sell every single house for more money than anybody else can sell it for. And be able to prove it. Be able to put your money where your mouth is. That is only a challenge on your first time because you have no track record. Okay. But after that, you should have that. Once you master this, you got this. Okay. Learn how to get better results than anybody else can get and learn and be able to prove it, which means be able to convince them, to inspire them to believe and know that if I hire you, you got me. I'm safe. You're going to take care of me and you're going to get me the best results. That's what they want. Now, what does that mean? Here's what that means. That means sell every single listing that you take for top dollar. Every one. Every single listing you take, you sell it. and you sell it for top dollar. And you go, what? So I got this, we had this conversation on, if you're in my Facebook group, YesMasters Real Estate Success Community, you maybe have noticed a post. Yeah, it was this week. And I can't even remember the post now, but it's something about a guaranteed sale or something. And I think it was a question of how, oh, I know what it was. It was a question of, what do you say if somebody has, if you haven't sold any house, somebody says, how many homes have you sold? And one of the agents posted, the answer is just say, well, I haven't sold any yet, but if you'll give me a shot, I guarantee I'll get your home sold. And so then there was this conversation about guarantees. And one agent put on there, I'm leery of anyone that guarantees results, that guarantees they can sell a house. And I'm like, absolutely. When I was a new real estate agent, and I can remember them telling you, whenever somebody says, can you guarantee that you were supposed to say, well, nobody can guarantee that we're going to sell your house, because I mean, I can't guarantee what's going to happen in the future. Wait a second. Then why in the world does Walmart guarantee it? Why does Amazon guarantee it? Why does almost every successful industry in the world guarantee their product? Well, it's because their products are perfect. They work every single time. No, they don't. They break. They have malfunctions. They're defective. Yeah, so what happens? Then you give them their money back, or you give them a new product. Okay, so what about in real estate? Guarantee that you can get their house sold for top dollar. Ooh, but what if I don't? Well, number one, learn how to do it. And number two, if you don't, what's the worst that can happen? They can fire you. You don't get paid. Well, if you don't get the listing, you're not going to get paid anyway. So learn how to sell every listing, and then you guarantee it. But what if? What if? We'll stop worrying about what if and stop living in fear and start living in mastery and learning how to get a result, and then you don't have to live in fear anymore. Okay? If you learn how to get every listing sold for time, you're like, yeah, but I know what you're saying, Kevin, but that's not realistic. Okay, listen, my friends. In 2008, it was in 2008, I was in Houston, Texas at a real estate conference, a real estate training. And I was sitting next to a lady named Liz. She was an agent in Houston. And we're just in the middle of the year conversation, market's tanking. And we're just having that conversation, like, how many homes have you sold this year? How are you doing? How's your year going? That's pretty good. And I said, so how many listings have you taken? And we just have this conversation. And to this day, I remember she said, I've taken 22 listings. Oh, that's awesome. 22 listings in the first 6 months, not bad. And I'm going to, cool. So like, how many sales have you had? And she said, oh, I've sold them all. I've sold all 22 of them. And I'm like, okay, wait. Run this back again. You've taken 22 listings this year and you've already sold all 22 of them? Because my little brain that had been trained in traditional real estate could not quite compute that, because see, I was taught you're going to sell 60, 70, 80% of your listings. And to this day, that's what you hear trained. And you hear the top mega agents. I was listening to a video of an agent that does over 300 sales a year, and he was training agents, and he just said, you're going to, on average, sell 65 to 75% of your listings. That's kind of like the expectation. And then I saw a video of one of a top real estate trainer, real estate coach, and he was lauding one of his top coaching members that had taken over 250 listings or something like that. And he was like, how many of you guys want to be like her? And all this, and she had taken 250 listings and she'd sold 170 something of them. And as I'm listening to that, I'm like, this was last year. And I'm like, okay, all I'm hearing in that is I'm hearing the 50 plus sellers whose homes she did not sell. And it wasn't that those houses were still active. This was like past production, past performance, that she literally only sold about 70% of her listings. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me, right? That you want to hold this up? She's successful. Why don't you go talk and ask those sellers whose homes she did not sell how successful she is? What do they think? They think she's awesome? No, because see, here's the thing. You just think, we're real estate agents. We just think, listing expired, canceled, it happens. Here's what the seller thinks. We were planning to move. We had a house picked out. My husband was transferred. They have when people move, when they sell their house, they're not just like selling a house and buying a house. It's not like going down and buying a loaf of bread. They're moving. Their entire life is changing. It is this entire life transition where everything in their life changes. And it takes months and months of planning and execution to make a move. And they hire you to execute it. And 6 months later, they're still sitting there going like, we're still here. Why are we still here? We were supposed to be in Chicago 6 months ago. Why are we still here? See, you're going like, oh, I mean, it just didn't sell. They're like, didn't sell. I'm here. I'm not supposed to be here. My house was supposed to be sold. I hired you to sell it. You promised me you could sell it and you didn't sell it. They have an absolute right to be upset. Okay? You want to win in the game of real estate? You learn how to get the best results every single time, because here's the secret. All the disruptors, all the discount brokers out there, all the guys that are the cheap side, they make all kinds of promises. We're going to save you money. We're not going to lock you into contract. We're going to blah, blah, blah. Here's one thing they will never promise: a better result. They're going to say we're cheaper, we're easier, but they're never going to say we're better. They're going to cast you as the bad guy. They're going to cast realtors as the bad guys. Full service, full commission realtors, you overcharge. You don't need to pay full commissions. You're an idiot if you pay full commissions, because you're just paying. These guys are overpaid. And look, a lot of you are overpaid because you're amateurs. You don't sell your listings for top dollar. You don't sell. You take listings. You're like, oh, it ain't selling. Why? Well, it's because it's overpriced. Because you listened to the seller and they led instead of you leading, because you didn't know how to deliver a result. And then you want to blame them. Well, it's not their job to get the house sold. It's your job. Yeah, but they won't listen to me. Well, then you got to get better at getting them to listen to you. See, my friends, here's the magic of how do you get the best results is you got to learn how to lead a seller, and you got to become the best at that. And when you do that, you can sell every single listing you take. Yeah, but who really does that? Well, at Double Your Listing Power Training Camp, that's coming up in a few weeks. I'll talk about it in a few minutes. Double Your Listing Power Training Camp, Double Your Listing Power Live 2019 is coming up in February, next month. And at that event, you will get to hear from agents who are making $200,000, $300,000 and $400,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 in commissions. You'll get to hear from 3 of them that have never not sold a listing. And we're talking agents, some of them that have sold hundreds and hundreds of listings, have made millions of dollars in real estate as agents, and have never not had a listing sell. And they'll be on stage, and you'll get to hear them tell you how they do it. How do you sell every single listing you take? And you'll hear from people like Alex Kaliliford, Sergio Nazaro, Eric Gardner, and these are guys from Colorado, from Utah, from California. And we have agents all over the place that they sell every single listing they take every single time, and they sell it for top dollar. I've got a friend of mine who's a broker that I've worked with. I mentor him. He mentors me. His name's Greg Haig in Phoenix, Arizona. He has the #1 luxury team, #1 luxury boutique real estate firm in Phoenix, Arizona. And I don't know what his numbers are right now, but I know when I talked to him last time, he told me like I think in November, they were averaging over 30 listings a month, and they were closing over $500,000 in commissions every month. And they had sold every single listing since he started doing this over a year and a half ago. Every single listing. In the luxury market in Phoenix, Arizona, and some of that, like Paradise Valley, has been pretty soft, where average days on the market has gone over 100 days, and they sell every single listing. How do they do that? Because of this, because they're the best at getting the best results. Master that. So now the question is, how do I become the best? How do you do that? Well, here's what you do. You do what the best in the world do. What do the best of the best do? Now, when we talk about and we think about the best of the best, I think about like, who's the best in the world at something? Well, I think about the greatest of all time. I think about people like Michael Jordan, greatest basketball player of all time. How did he become the best of the best? I think about Tom Brady. I mean, look, guys, he did it again. Last Sunday, he did it again. Championship game, what is it? The NFC Championship? I don't know, whatever it is, but championship game, New England Patriots playing against whoever they were playing against. I don't really follow football, but I follow greatness. And so we actually watched the last half of that game and watched Tom Brady come from behind. It was his 12th time to lead his team to come from behind to win a playoff game in his career. No other quarterback has ever done anything like that. 12 come from behind victories in the final drive of the game. 12 times he's done that in his career. Okay, in playoff games, not just in regular games, any game, just in playoff games. He's won 3 overtime overtime games in the playoffs. No quarterback's ever done that before. Time after time after time. And now he is going back to his 9th Super Bowl, and he's the oldest guy in the NFL. He's the oldest player. He's too old to be playing football. He's like in his 40s. How in the world does he survive? He's a quarterback. They get the crap beat out of him. How does he do it? How does he stay healthy? How does he stay strong? How in the world is he faster today, and he is, than he was his rookie year when he was in his early 20s? He is faster today than he was then. Now, any of you that are 40 or in your 40s, are you faster today than you were when you were 20? I don't think so. What does he do different? He does what the best of the best do. Serena Williams in tennis, Michael Phelps in swimming. These are the people who are the best and the best and the best of the best in the world. How do they become better at getting a better result than anyone else? And here is across the board. If I could give you a shortcut, this is it. They out-train everyone else. They simply train harder than anybody else. They are more committed to their training. And while, in real estate, I say, while the masses complain, the masters train. How do you become the best in your market at getting the best results? You got to train. You got to get trained on how to become the best. How do you sell houses for more money? How do you sell all of them? How do you sell faster? How do you convince sellers to believe you and actually to hire you and do it over and over and over and over again? You got to be better than everybody else. How do you do it? You got to get the right training. In fact, there's a book by Dan Coyle called The Talent Code. And in The Talent Code, what Dan Coyle did was he went around the world and he went to what he called the talent hotbeds. And that was he went to places where the best in the world came out in different arenas. So he went to golf training schools, soccer training schools, ice skating, gymnastics, piano, music, classical music. He went to all these different, what he called the talent hotbeds, which is like, there's one tennis club in Moscow that has produced more tennis champions. He goes to Jamaica to find out where the more world-class sprinters, or to Kenya, where more world-class world record marathoners come out. And how do they do that? Is it like the climate? What is it about them? And he did this entire book called The Talent Code. And he's actually got a smaller book of it called The Little Book of Talent. And this is part of one of the excerpts from his book called The Little Book of Talents by Daniel Coyle, which is an amazing book. And he said, if I had to sum up the difference, and I don't know if you can see this, so I'm going to read it to you. He said, if I had to sum up the difference between people in the talent hotbeds, in other words, between the people who are the best in the world and people everywhere else in one sentence, it would be this. People in the hotbeds, in other words, people who are the best in the world, people like Usain Bolt, they have a different relationship with practicing. They have a different relationship with training. He says, many of us view practice as necessary drudgery, the equivalent of being forced to eat your vegetables, far less important or interesting than the big game or the big performance. But in the talent hotbeds I visited, practice was the big game. It was the center of their world, the main focus of their daily lives. You see, here's the deal. You want to become the best in the world? Look, it's not how good your Facebook marketing is, my friend. It's not your social media presence. It's can you deliver the result? You can look good. You can have great marketing. You can do billboards, bus benches. You can have banners flying behind an airplane. If I hire you, can you get me the result I need so I can move with the most money in my pocket? Can you do that? And if you can't, it can be trained. And look, talk is cheap. Are you taking all the listings you want to have to achieve the income goals that you have set? And are you delivering the best results for your sellers time after time after time after time? And if you're not, it's this, right? Here's the secret. You want to get paid full commissions. You want to get a lot of listings. You want to make a lot of money. You want to win with sellers, become the best at what you do. And the way you become the best is you get the right training, and you train and practice harder than anyone else. So what do we have to become the best at? Here's the secret. What do we have to become the best at? Well, number one is you got to become the best at delivering the best results. You got to become the best at delivering the best results. How do you do that? Well, at W Listing Power Training Camp, we train you on what we call the 28-step selling system. And what the 28-step selling system is, it is a very, very, I'm going to call it, it's not simple, but it's just insanely powerful system that will sell every single listing for top dollar. Every single listing for top dollar, period. It just works. You got to learn how to become the best at delivering the best results. All right? If you don't know how to do that, come train with me. Okay. When they ask, his name was Paul, I can't remember his name, but he was a world record marathon holder from Kenya. And they asked him one time, how come your people are faster? How come all you Kenyans win more marathons and set more world records than anybody else? And he said, come train with us. Come train with us, and then you'll see why we win. That's how you become the best in the world. And the best is not, can you talk the talk? It's, can you walk the walk? When I hire you to sell my house, can you deliver me the best results every time? And then it's not just a matter of you got to be able to deliver the best results. You got to become the best at inspiring the seller to say yes. See, you may be great at selling houses, but well, I know how to sell every house, but I can't get the sellers, well, I can't get them to list it at the right price. Well, then you got to become better at getting them to list it at the right price. Does that make sense? Because if you can sell every single house, you got the best marketing plan on the planet, but if every seller's want to price it 10% overpriced, it ain't going to sell. You're not going to deliver results. You got to get better right here at inspiring sellers to say yes to you and say yes to the right pricing and positioning of the house in the market so that it will actually sell. Otherwise, you're not going to deliver results. Otherwise, you ain't the best. You got to become the best in the world at doing that. How do you do that? Master the best listing presentation. Now, those of you that have the book of Yes, you have, here's the crazy thing, you have the playbook. You actually have it. It's called the book of Yes. If you got the book of Yes, inside there is the listing presentation. It's there. But it's just like having, if you got the New England Patriots playbook and you put your team together and you got to go like, hey, we got Bill Belichick's playbook. We got the game. We got the plays. We know exactly the play Tom Brady runs. The question isn't, do you got the playbook? The question is, can you execute at that level? Now you want to have the best playbook, right? If you want the best playbook, it's right here. Right here's the best playbook. It's called the Book of Yes. Okay. What we do at W Listing Power Training Camp is we train you how to become the best at executing everything that's in here. So you become the best at that. So what do? You do what the best do. Let me tell you about one guy. This was a text message, a conversation I had with Jacoby Kendrick. So Jacoby Kendrick is one of our Inner Circle members. This is his third year in real estate, third year full-time in real estate. And this was last July, I think it was July or August. And he sent me this text message and he just sent me a screenshot of this. And this is a guy, by the way, this is his second year in real estate. Okay, last year was his second full year in real estate. And this was halfway through the year. He was giving me his January through June 30 days. And I have his permission to share this. Year-to-date production, $288,889, 33 units closed, President's Club, and so forth. Achieved 400,000 GCI or 100 units. He's on track to achieve over $400,000. His ranking in Weichert, he's with Reichert Realty, is number 2 out of 2,031 agents. And in the entire company, he's number 20 out of over 7,200 agents in commissions. And guys, he's in Midland, Texas. This is not exactly your like high-end market. And in half a year, over $200,000 in commissions. He ended the year with nearly $400,000 in commissions, his second year in the business. Like, how'd you do that? How in the world did you become number 2 out of over 2,000 agents your second year in the industry? And this is what he said. He said, by the way, he sent me this, the screenshot. It was 98 degrees and he's out in his suit knocking doors. And you can, if you look up, if you can see up close, his shirt's like soaking wet there in the collar. And he says, currently sitting at number 20 for all of Weichert. Thanks again for all you guys do. Truly grateful. Love your growth. It's inspirational. Can't wait for the new stuff to hit. I'm ready to take this number 1 spot in Weichert. By the way, he's talking about the new stuff to hit. What he was talking about is the seller vortex that we're going to be training at W Listing Power Training Camp this year. And I just said, so crazy amazing, super proud of you. Who would have ever dreamed this 2 years ago when he first came to my very first W Listing Power Training Camp? He attended W Listing Power Training Camp. This was a year and a half after he'd attended his first one. And he says, I wouldn't have. My first vortex, you said that you could help me sell every listing. Now here's a guy who's never had a listing in his entire career not sell. He came to my training camp when he was brand new, and he said, you told me you could help me sell every listing, and that if I would do what you told me, I wouldn't recognize my life. And you came through on your word. And he said, not done yet, but thank you. Guys, here's a guy who's not just changed his own life, he's changed the life of his family, his wife, his little kids. This is what I'm talking about, a guy who committed to become the best in the world. And so we talk about, this is the training that we do with my coaching members, people that go through my training, is we're able to we use different scripts. People are like, well, what about this? What script would you say for this? And here's the crazy thing. It depends. So the scripts that you have in the book of Yes, these are not the best scripts I got. Okay. The best scripts I got are what we call the Vortex secret scripts. And the reason they're secret is because we can't publish them. And the reason is if I gave them to you, you couldn't use them because you're not good enough. And I'm not trying to insult you or anything like that. But if you don't know how to sell every single listing for top dollar, you can't use the scripts. You can't promise something you can't deliver. And when you're the best in the world. So I worked with Alex Colilliford in Woodland Hills, who, again, he's been real estate, is now in his 5th year in real estate. He is making nearly $100,000 a month in commissions, has sold every single listing his entire career. And this was a script that he and I worked on. And I can't remember how it all started and all this, but we were having this question and we're like, how much is your commission? And this was actually on an inner circle coaching call. And people asked it, well, how much is your commission? And so we worked this out, and here it is. This is a script you can use when you're the best in the best. So I'm giving you the script, okay? I'm going to give you the script, but don't use it if you can't do it, all right? Here's the answer. So how much is your commission? Well, it's a lot, okay? In fact, I'm probably the most expensive realtor that you're going to talk to. Can I tell you why? Now, what are they going to say? So just stop right there and think. How many of you would ever imagine telling that to a seller? Because see, we're trying to figure out, if they ask how much is your commission, we're trying to figure out, how do I not tell them? Because if I tell them, they may cancel the appointment. They may choose a cheaper agent. Do I have to cut my commission? These guys, when you're the best, they don't even have that conversation, my friends. Every time they get full commission. They set the commission, they get paid. And by the way, in Los Angeles, California, as an example, Alex Colilliford, he gets paid a full percentage point more than the going rate. Okay, a full percentage point more to him. To him personally, a full percentage more than almost every other agent out there. Every single time, not most of the time, every single time. Well, I'll with the caveat, when he works with investors, so he works with a few investors that do multiple deals with them. And because with investors, he gives them basically a volume discount. So they do a lot of deals with him. He'll do their commissions for less. But with every single normal owner-occupied seller property, he gets full commission every time. Why? Because if they ever ask, which rarely happens, but when it does, he goes like this. Well, he said, I'm probably the most expensive agent you're going to talk to. Can I tell you why? Now, if you're a seller, what are you going to go like? Okay. Now, I've heard of Bentley. I've heard of Rolls Royce. And nobody ever calls a Bentley dealership and goes like, how much you charge for your cars? Ford charges for their brand new decked out loaded Ford whatever. Fusion charges $50,000. How much you charge for your car loaded decked out? Well, I can tell you this, Mr. Car Buyer, it's going to be poor 5 or 6 times more than the nicest Ford you're ever going to look at. I mean, I'm probably going to be the most expensive car you're going to look at. Now, you understand a Ford or you want a Rolls Royce? You see, whenever somebody's selling their biggest asset, they want the best results. Position yourself to be the best. So can I tell you why I'm probably the most expensive realtor you're going to talk to? Because I get more money for you in your pocket. So are you looking for a cheap agent or are you looking for more money in your pocket? Now you do the math here. If you're a homeowner, do you want cheapest agent or more money in your pocket? I'll go with more money in my pocket. Yeah. Then get the best agent. And when you're the best, you can say stuff like this. If you're not the best, you say something like this, you're full of crap. Or what we call affectionately BS. Until you master how to do it. So secret number 2 is you got to become the best of the best. You got to make that decision. The way you get full commissions when everybody else is caving is become better than everybody else and better at getting results and better at inspiring sellers to hire you and believe that you can get them better results. And then real quickly, let's talk about secret number 3. And that is that why is now the best time ever to succeed in real estate? Why is that? Because here's a false belief that I see floating out everywhere. It's in, I mean, you see it on the news, you see it in the blogs, you see it in the conversations. And that is, guys, the technology, the online platforms, they are going to put you out of business. Real estate agents are obsolete. They are a thing of the past. And I'm going to tell you right now that that could not be further from the truth. What I'm going to tell you is amateur agents, agents who don't have skills, agents who don't know how to deliver results, agents who aren't great at what they do, you are obsolete and you're going out of business. But when you're the best, realtors are not going out of business because of technology. The truth is that it is the best time ever to succeed in real estate. You can succeed faster and bigger than ever before. Why? Because never before have we had so many resources for lead generation and lead conversion that you can get your fingers on, even as a new agent, without requiring a boatload of cash or a black belt in technology. Because I don't have a fortune. I can't do a branding. I mean, you can go to, these big branding companies. You still spend $25,000 to create a whole branding package for yourself. $25,000? Are you kidding me? Now, in reality, it's probably not that expensive if you think big enough. But for the average agent, they're like $25,000 for a branding campaign. I can't do something like that. Technology. I'm not a techie. But I'm going to tell you, the beauty of it is because of technology has gotten so user-friendly and just so powerful that today you can leverage the daylights out of it if you know how to do it. And you can create a lead generation strategy and a lead conversion strategy that will crush it while everybody else is getting crushed because they're not prepared. They don't know how to take advantage of the changes that are happening in the market today. See, here's the reality. The reality is the old ways won't work in the future. The old ways, the one-dimensional approach to real estate, the one-shot deal. Here is the old way of real estate. It's the way I built my business. Knock on their door or call them and it's over. One shot. It's kind of like having, when I was a kid, we had a single shot shotgun. And the first time I ever went bird hunting, went quail hunting. So I went with my friend Brian Carter and his dad, and I had my single shot that my dad gave me. It was a single shot 20 gauge shotgun. It was, my dad had it when he was a young guy, and it was old and but had one, like you had one shell. So you go out, the bird dog flushes a covey of quail, and you're like, bam! And you either hit one or you miss. Mostly I missed because I wasn't that good at it, but I also just had one shot. And then, but Brian had a pump shotgun. And what a pump shotgun is that when they took off, he'd go bam. And every time he'd shoot a shell, it had like 5 or 6 or 8 or 10, I don't know how many shells in it. And he would just pump it, like reload it. And he'd go bam, 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 bam. And he could get off 3 or 4 shots on that covey of quail. And he could bring down 2 or 3 or 4 birds one time. And I'm like, I want that. And I look at real estate, and when I started selling real estate, I had a one-dimensional approach to business. I got on the phone and I called. I called for sell by owners and expireds. It worked. It worked. My second full year. So I started in 1998, in June of 1998, and I did like 18 deals, or 18 or 19 deals in 98. In 99, I did 42 deals. And in 2000, I did 108 transactions. I took over 95 listings. And almost every one of the listings were for sell by owners and expireds. And I didn't door knock because he told me to get off his porch and I was scared. So I just called. It was a one-dimensional approach to business. One shot, I either got the appointment or I didn't. And it worked. But today, it's not the same. Today, it's whole different. And just tell me if you've ever felt like this. If you're a door knocker, if you've ever tried it, you go knock on the door, no answer. What are you going to do? I'll leave my business card. Then what next? Nothing. Dead end. It's over. They're either going to call you or they're not. Probably not, right? Or you can do calling. Pick up the phone, call them. What happens if they don't answer? Leave a message. Okay, cool. Leave a message. Then what? Nothing. Dead end. They ain't calling you back. Well, how about this? Let's send postcards. We'll do direct mail. So we send a postcard, send another one, and another one. And what happens? Nothing. Dead end. Now, if you do it over and over and over and over and over again enough, yes, something will happen. But most realtors aren't willing to pay the price and the time. It takes 12 to 18 to 24 months before you can really start using geographic farming or direct mail to make it really consistently make money. Well, how about this? I'm just going to go out and meet people. So you go out and meet somebody, you give them a business card, say, hey, call me. And what happens? Nothing. They never call you. You call or knock on something, you call somebody and they'd answer. Well, at least they answer this time. I'm not interested. Dead end. Call or knock. We're not selling. What do you do next? Nothing. It's just another dead end. Call or knock. They're like, well, how many homes have you sold in the neighborhood? How long have you been selling real estate? You get stumped by an objection. What happens next? Nothing. Dead end. You call them. They hang up on you. What are you going to do next? Nothing. It's a dead end. You understand what I'm saying? When you have a one-dimensional approach to business, is I call or I knock, there's just one dimension and it's like a one-shot shotgun. I either hit or I miss, and most of the time you miss, and most of the time it's just a waste of time, and it's so frustrating because it's just a dead end. Ladies and gentlemen, the lead generation of the future, the old ways don't work. Now, I'm not saying they don't work at all, but if you want to have massive success, you're going to go through a ton of pain and a ton of resource to get it. Today, success requires a multi-dimensional approach. It requires a multi-dimensional lead generation and lead conversion leveraged business model. That's what it takes. And that's what we train at W Listing Power Training Camp, is we train on what we call the seller vortex. And here's what happens is we now use a multi-dimensional approach. Now, what are the resources? What do we do? Well, what's crazy is it's not like all the old stuff doesn't work. It still works. You just can't focus in on one thing. So what we like is, okay, what do we do? Well, we take and help you identify the strategies that work best for you. So what are the different resources? Well, we use the phone. People will still talk to you on the phone. It still works. But we have more than just the phone. So we have another dimension now. What about text messaging? Yes. Email? Yes. What about video? Unbelievably powerful. Most agents are still not using it. We train you exactly how to use it. Because when you know how to use video, my friends, it is an absolute game changer. But again, it has to be part of a multi-dimensional approach. If you just send somebody a video, it ain't going to do anything. It's got to be a part of a multi-dimensional strategy. Social media is awesome. But if it's just all you got, what happens when they see you on social media, they go like, I like it, and they inquire, and then you don't know what to do next? One-dimensional is not going to work. Okay. Maybe you have internet lead generation. You get internet leads, or you have somebody builds you a fancy website, and your website just costs you money to make you any money because it just sits there and nobody goes to it. And if they do go to it, what are they going to do? They're going to sign up to get properties. They can do that for free. They don't have to go to your website. They can do it on Zillow. If they want to find out how much your house is worth, why would they ask for you to do a CMA for them? They can, well, I'll give you an instant valuation. I can get an instant valuation on Zillow without giving them my information or knowing that you're going to call me and dog me for business. I don't have to deal with that, right? What about print advertising? Yeah, print advertising is still work, but it's not one-dimensional. What about direct mail? Yes, awesome. Love direct mail. but it's a part of a multi-dimensional strategy. And how about this? How about actually still talking to people? Yes, it still works. See, the resources for success today requires a multi-dimensional approach that you can put all together into a collaborative system that pulls business towards you night and day. It is called the seller vortex. And what it does is it creates an entire business model that literally helps you connect with people, position yourself with people so they trust you, they get to know you, and they want to hear what you got to say, and that inspires them to hire you. You deliver them the best results, and then they give you business over and over and over again. It is the seller vortex. And what I train you on is not just one dimension. I started my business on a one-dimensional approach. I call for sell by owners. And then I added another dimension. I called expireds. And I go back and forth, boom, 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 boom. Today, I've got agents that beat their brains out trying to get for sale by owners and expireds. And it still works. It's just so much harder than it used to be because it's harder to even get in touch with these people. If I get in touch with them, they don't want to talk to me. They hang up on me. It's over. Used to, they'd hang up, but not near as much. Now they don't answer the phone anymore because used to they had a home phone and when it rang, they would actually answer it. Today, I mean, how many of you're a real estate agent, so you have to do it. But people that aren't real estate agents, they have their cell phone. They see somebody calling them and they're like, I don't have that number. I don't know who that is. They're not answering. If you just have a one-dimensional strategy, if I'm going to call them until the cows come home, you're going to be watching for cows to come home for a long, long time. So what you got to have is multiple vortices to generate leads, multiple ways to bring them into you. Once they come into you, once you get a connection with somebody, now I've got to figure out how do I get them to trust me? So one of the things that we're going to be training at W Listing Power Training Camp is the seller online vortex. And guys, I'm telling you what the difference between a website, like a real estate agent website, I mean, probably 60, 70% of you have websites. 20, 30% of you have a website, but you have no clue what's on it and ain't nothing on it. And 90% of you have websites that have never made you a dime. If they cost you any money, they've never made you any money. The difference between a website and an online vortex is an online vortex actually draws people in and makes them irresistibly want to talk to you. And so we train you on the entire model of how do you create attraction? How do you give them something that makes them go like, okay, not only, I'm willing to meet with you, but I don't want to work with anybody else. And we teach you how to do that. We teach you a lead follow-up vortex that is bulletproof. We teach you the listing vortex of how do you go into a listing appointment? How do you set a listing appointment and then go in and get the listing every single time, first meeting at the right price for full commission? How do you do that? That's the seller vortex. And then once you get it, you put their listing into what we call the home selling vortex. And the home selling vortex is simply what these guys and gals are using that lets them sell every single listing for top dollar every single time. You master this, you are going to crush your goals in 2019 and beyond. Because guys, the reality is the future of agents with a one-dimensional business model is over. If you're trying to find the one magic strategy that's going to work for you, that's why you're frustrated. It's because there is no one magic strategy. It requires a multi-dimensional business approach. And you go, well, that sounds so complicated. Well, my friends, it is complex. It is multifaceted. There's a little work you got to do. You got to be willing to train. You got to be willing to do the work. That's why I told you at the beginning, we've had over 750 of you on here at one time. Over 100 still didn't know how to show up on time because that's the way the average realtors are. They don't show up on time anywhere, but you're here. And I told you at the beginning, there's probably only 10% of you that I can help because most of you look at this and you're going like, oh, I want somebody to give me a simple way to win. Kind of like they do now doing in junior high when we don't keep scoring anymore. All I got to do is show up and they'll give me a trophy. Okay. My friends, you get your real estate license, you're in the real freaking world. Ain't nobody going to give you a participation trophy for being in real estate. Not going to happen. You want to succeed? You're going to have to get good. Okay. I know. See, I know most trainers out there telling you, oh, I've got the way to do this. And it's so simple. All you got to do is send me a couple $1,000 and I'm going to give you access to these 7 videos and this magic bullet. And it's going to make you a fortune. And you're going to be a 7-figure agent. And we'll put you in our Facebook group. And I'm telling you, my friend, I would love to be able to promise you that. But I am going to tell you, it is not going to work that way. If you are trying to find a one-dimensional business model or some magic shortcut that's going to happen, it ain't going to happen. Dead end. Or the seller vortex model. The seller vortex model is paved with cash, my friends. It is paved with cash into your bank account. Which future do you want? That's a decision you got to make. I've given you the secrets. Now, here's what I want to tell you. I have one commitment. This is something that our team has talked about. We've got some exciting things that we're bringing in to help real estate agents that we work with to succeed massively. And I made one commitment last year, and I've told every one of my coaching members, every person that comes to our event, I have one goal. And my goal is I want to help you add 6 figures to your bank account this year and every year, every single time, year after year after year after year, until you're financially free. Because I know this. If I can help you, look, I get it. People are like, money's not everything. Money is not important, the most important thing. I get that, but it's the thing that moves you forward in the board of life. Because when you have more money, you got more options. Okay? When your parents are getting older and they need somebody to take care of them, what are you going to do? You have money, you got options. When your child is diagnosed with type 1 diabetes and you're broke, you're in trouble and your child is going to suffer. Does that make sense? That is so important. Okay, so it's just the monitor screen. Don't worry. That's going to go dark. Okay, do what you got to do. So we're going to lose our camera for 1 second, guys. We're going to make one switch on our camera here. So it'll be black. I'll be right back. And we're back. Oh, that was interesting technology glitch there. All right, so we're back. So what we decided was we have one commitment. What can we do to help guarantee that every agent that we work with can add 6 figures to their income every year? And that's been our commitment. And when we first started this, we had over a dozen agents at our last event walk across stage and get what we call our 6-figure plus award, which is a great trophy. You'll see another dozen agents walking across stage getting their 6-figure plus award because we just started this. What do you want? If you're interested in massively growing your business and you want to crush it in 2019 and 2020 and beyond, I want to talk to you for a second about how we can help you do that. It's coming up February 11th through the 13th. It is called Double Your Listing Power Training Camp. This will be our 6th year to do Double Your Listing Power Training Camp. It has evolved as the market has evolved and as you have evolved. And what we are bringing at this event will absolutely not only accelerate your business and your income, but it will change your life. It is Double Your Listing Power Training Camp. It is February the 11th, 12th, and 13th here in Los Angeles. And if it's all right, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. And then after that, we're going to do some Q&A. And then after that, I promise you, I've got a bonus for you that just for hanging out that I'm going to give you guys a special bonus for staying till the end. But here's what I'm looking for. The rest of this conversation is for one group of people. And that is people who look at this and as we've gone through this, go like, I am going to crush it. And right now I'm not, but I can do this. And I'm committed and I'm willing to go all in if I can add 6 figures. And when I talk about adding 6 figures to my business, for some of you, that will be making an extra $100,000. But we had agents last year that their 6-figure plus award because they added over $250,000 and some even over $300,000 to their income in 1 year. Now, here's what I know. You're not going to recognize your life a year from now when you're adding that kind of coin to your bank account. And that's what I want for you. So Double Your Listing Power Training Camp is coming up. I'm going to invite you to join me for 3 days. I'm going to lock you in a room. You're going to work directly and personally with me for 3 days with a group of other committed, 100% committed agents. And you'll understand when you get there that the only agents that will be in that room for 3 days are 100% committed and they will play full out. There will be no agents, 0 agents sitting there with their arms folded going like, yeah, whatever. You're not going to see agents sitting back there surfing the internet or on their cell phone. It just doesn't happen because this is a training camp. This is not, just to be real crystal clear, it is Double Your Listing Power training camp. This is not a conference. It's not a seminar. It's not a class. It's not like anything else you've ever attended. Okay. It is 3 days where you're on a choreographed training journey to prepare you to crush it in real estate. So you walk out of there going out and getting listings and selling them and helping more sellers get better results and getting more business than you've ever imagined. Now, tuition is $497. It is just a very simple, straightforward, like that is a good deal. If you come do that, $497, and you get one deal out of it that makes you $5,000, what is that, a 10x ROI? It's that powerful. So here's what's going to happen at Double Your Listing Power Live. And a lot of you have been seeing this. Probably some of you, as many people as we've got on here, is hundreds of people. There's probably a lot of you already got your ticket, which is awesome. Congratulations. We're excited to have you. It's going to be great. For those of you that have been hearing about it and going like, I need to go, I want to go. Let me just share with you what's going to happen and what you're going to experience once you get there. So these are the things that we're going to go through for 3 days. Number one is how to create your own online and offline lead generation vortices that work for you 24/7. You know, we talk about you need to prospect 3 hours a day. Yeah, I still train that. Prospect 3 hours a day. But then what happens when you quit prospecting? How much lead generation is going on? None. We're going to help you set up your online and offline lead generation vortices that work for you 24/7 without you having to pay Zillow or other portals for expensive, low quality, so-called leads, which are really not leads. They're really just prospects. And a lot of times they're just suspects. And then we're going to train you on how to create a consistent flow, like coming to you, a consistent flow of motivated prospects lining up to list their home with you, where that they're coming to you over and over and over again. And then how to have the presence and presentation. How do you show up in a way? How do you present in a way that makes motivated sellers say yes to you every single time? And then how to be the best in your market at delivering the best results for your clients, which just means simply how to sell every single listing you take for top dollar. And you know what happens on this is when we call it a vortex, is that once you get it going, it literally just keeps drawing people in. Because when the word gets out that this is what you do, then people are going like, that's the one I want you to call. I was just talking to Jose Contreras, one of my inner circle members, and he was talking about yesterday, he got a referral for a $1.7 million listing from a past client. No, it was actually not even a past client. It was a builder. It was a builder, Toll Brothers sales rep that was telling these people, say, you know what? There's this guy out there, there's an agent named Jose Contreras. We see his signs everywhere and he's selling everything he touches. You need to call him. Because he's created this. And now all of a sudden, $1 million listings are coming into his lap. And he's not having to go chase them. They're coming to him. And that is what you're going to learn at Double Your Listing Power Training Camp. Now, I just want you to think about it. And here's the deal. If you're going like, well, how do I know this is going to be good? Look, if you don't know me yet, or if you don't trust me enough, then I'm going to say this. Go to YouTube. Just start watching my training videos. Join me on Kevin at 7 live every morning on YouTube or on my Facebook page. And if you watch me for a week and you still don't believe that you can trust me, that I care about your success, then we're not going to work together. Okay. What I want is I want to help you add 6 figures to your business this year. That's what more than anything else, because I see what it's done for Jose Contreras Live. I see what for Jacoby Kendrick, for Monique Howard, for Sarah Davis, for people over just everywhere, that agents whose lives are changed because of what they're learning and what they're implementing and what they're able to do. Now, here's what I know. I know it's an investment. I know it's an investment of money. I know it's an investment of time. But if all this training did was help you get listing appointments you've been missing, if all it did was help you stop wasting your time with unmotivated sellers and unmotivated buyers who aren't really going to buy or sell, if all it did was help you beat that discount broker and their cheap commissions and get listings you've been missing because you don't want to reduce your commissions, if all it did was help you get 1 extra listing a month that you could sell for top dollar, how good of an investment would $497 be to get 1 listing a month? That's all. And we got agents coming out of there that are getting 1, 2, 3, 4 listings a month and selling them and selling them. And you're going to get to hear from them. You're going to get to hear from Paulie Dominant. She's been in the business now for less than 3 years, and last year made over $550,000 in Destin, Florida. And you're going to get to be trained by him on how he does it. Where we bring the best of the best. And used to it was just me, but now I've got agents out there who are so freaking good. I'm like, I need you guys telling them how that you're doing it. That makes them so good. Peggy Yee, who's just like has a young mom, has a great marriage, has 2 little kids, and she loves being a mom and she loves being a wife. And she doesn't work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. And she made over $500,000, like over $600,000 last year in Virginia. She's gonna be training you on how to do that. Would it be worth, what would that be worth to your life to add 6 figures to your business? Double Your Listing Power Training Camp. Okay, so here's the deal. You know I'm going to give you a break, right? We're going to give you 60% off. And this is a limited time only. This is only for the next few days, and then this price is going to go up. It's going to go away. But the early bird special, our last early bird special, is now $197. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. If you could add an extra $100,000 to your business, what would you be willing to pay to put $100,000 in your bank account? What would you be willing to invest? And look, it's 100% no risk. You come, you train with me for 3 days. If you don't think it's the best, here's our guarantee. It will be the best training you have ever attended in your life. And if it's not, you come up, you tell me, you tell any of my team at the end of the training camp, it's not the best. You tell them after half a day, you're like, this isn't for me. We'll give you your money back and we'll shake your hands and be friends. But I'm telling you, if you want to change your business and change your life, come join me. Come train with me for 3 days and it will change everything. I got to tell you, it will do that. Now, I'm going to do one last thing here because this is one of the questions like, I can't afford it. So here's the deal. We created a special program that you can actually get paid to come to Double Your Listing Power Training Camp. Okay. So would you like to get paid to attend Double Your Listing Power Training Camp? All right. So if you want to get paid, I'm going to tell you how to do it. Okay. So here's the process of how to get paid to attend Double Your Listing Power Training Camp. So number 1 is you got to come. You got to actually attend Double Your Listing Power Training Camp. Okay. Get your ticket today, $197. You can wait after next week. It'll be, you're going to be paying $497 to get in when you're paying the full retail price if you don't get it before the price goes up. Step number 2. Okay. You got to come to LA. You actually got to get here. Now that's going to cost you some money. Okay, you're gonna have to pay for your ticket to get here. Now, I like first class. We made a decision. Julie and I made a decision. We flew first class one time. We're like, I like this. You meet different people. They treat you different. You feel different. It's way more comfortable. We're like, okay, so just get a first class ticket to round trip airfare to Los Angeles, to LAX. It's gonna be at the Sheraton Gateway Hotel right next to the airport. You don't have to rent a car or anything like that. You just got to get your ticket. Okay, so first class round trip ticket should be right now anywhere in the United States and even Canada, probably around $2,000 or less. Now you go like, $2,000, I can't do that. So let me just real quick tell you a little story. In 2001, it was later. I don't remember what year it was. But I was needing help. I was not making the money I wanted to make. And I met a mentor that said, I want you to go to a training with me that will change your life. And I'm like, all right, okay, I'm ready. And he goes like, I said, when is it? He goes like, next weekend. I'm like, okay, cool. I think I can do that. And he goes like, it's in Portland, Oregon. I'm like, Portland, Oregon? Are you kidding me? Now at the time, I was not doing well. I'd had some personal things go on and I just crashed and burned. I had no money. And it was like, I can't do it. I don't have the money to do it. And he says, here's what you got to decide. Do you want to change your life? Do you want to never be broke again? Then you got to make the decision to do whatever it takes to get there. And I'm like, I'm doing it. And so I got into my car and I gassed it up. I filled up an ice chest full of food because I knew I couldn't afford restaurants to eat out along the way and at the event. So I literally went to the grocery store, I bought sandwich stuff, and I packed it all into an ice chest, snacks and sandwich stuff. And I drove over 2,000 miles from Dallas, Texas to Portland, Oregon, to go and get trained on how to build a business. And within 90 days after making that trip, I had made over $60,000 just from attending that event. So for me, it's a pretty good investment. I couldn't afford an airline ticket, even to fly coach. So I just drove. My point is, if you're committed, You got to go all in, and you got to be willing to say, I will do whatever it takes. The difference between people that fail and people that succeed is not that the successful people are smarter. It's not that they're better. It's that they're more committed. And they're willing to do whatever it takes. So step number 2 is get here. However you got to get here, drive, fly, hitchhike, whatever you got to do to get here. Book your hotel, Sheraton Gateway. Once you register and get your ticket, we'll give you a discount code. It's like $159 a night. By the time you pay taxes and everything, it's going to cost you about $700 to stay 4 nights. So that way you get here on Sunday night and you leave, just so you don't miss any of the event. You're here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You leave Thursday morning. Okay, so be here for the whole event thing. Okay, that's going to cost you about $700. When you get here, I want you to eat well. Now, if you can't afford to eat well, I'm figuring $100 a day probably feed you. If you can't afford that, then go ahead and pack your ice chest the way I did. You can do that. It costs you about $50. You can literally, I found out you could actually live for 4 days on less than $50 when you have to, because I was committed. So the question is, are you committed to your success, or are you just interested in success? You committed to adding 6 figures to your income, or are you just interested in adding 6 figures to income? This is not an interested conversation, my friends. This is a committed conversation. Now, here's the deal. You make that investment, $3,297 total. That's if you come first class and you stay here first class. Okay? $3,297. Now, here's how you get paid. Okay? Here's the deal. Step 5, on February the 14th, Valentine's Day, the day after the event, you go back home. Celebrate with your spouse, your significant other, have a great Valentine's Day. And then on Monday, February, I don't remember September, February 15th, you start implementing everything that you heard from me today. Implement everything that you learned in those 3 days, and you will add 1 to 3 deals a month to your business, period. If you implement everything that you learn at Double Your Listing Power Training Camp, and you'll add 1 to 3 deals a month to your business. Now, I just want you to have a vision of what your life can be like when you make changes, when you take charge and you're like, I'm committed, I'm all in. Most agents are too afraid to go all in. They're not willing to commit. Or they get all excited. They're like, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in. And then they go like, I'm not in, I'm not in, I'm not in, because they get fear and they stop. So if you're not willing to take action when you get home, don't come. I can't help you. I can't, everything you're going to leave fired up. That fired up part is going to go away. First time you're walking up to a door and you're scared, right? It's got to be commitment that drives you from now on. Commitment. I will not fail. I will not quit. I will face my fear and I will conquer them. And I'm telling you, we'll walk you through how to do it. We'll walk you through how to program yourself for success. Okay. In 3 days, we're going to give you all of this in 3 days. Your life is never going to be the same again. If it only gave you 1 extra deal a month, not 3, not 4, like some of our agents have done, but only 1 extra deal a month, and your average commission check, let's say $7,000, which is about the average commission check in America. 12 times $7,000 is $84,000, which means on the rest of 2019, okay, the rest of 2019, add $84,000 to your bank account. That cost you $3,297 to get here. You just got paid $84,000 because you came. Because I'm talking about an extra deal a month that you would not have gotten if you hadn't learned what you're going to learn with the Seller Vortex at Double Your Listing Power Live. Okay, you understand? And you're going to get paid $84,000. By the way, that's a 25x ROI. Okay, we talk about, ROI, like, is 10% return on your money pretty good? Like if you had $100,000, you get 10% ROI, that's an extra $10,000 in a year. That'd be pretty good. Invest $100,000, make $10,000. What if you could invest $3,297 and a year from now it's worth $84,000? That is a 25x. That's 2,500% return on investment because you come. So I get it. It's an investment. I get it. It costs money. It costs time. And you're like, I'm busy. Blah, blah, blah. I got that. I got debt. I got this. Well, how long are you going to allow lack of money to control your life? I say, let's fix it. I say, let's get it over with. Let's get it done. See, the bottom line is, it's not just about selling more houses. I mean, that's not why you got in real estate. You got in real estate because if you could crush your goals, you could have the life you want. And that's my commitment. My commitment is helping you get the life you want. And if you'll come spend 3 days with me right now, you guys put the link up, right? So the link is up there. You guys click on the link, get your ticket today. It's $197 investment. That's it. $197, and then just figure out how to get here. And you come spend 3 days. We're going to lock you in a room. You're going to love you're not going to love every minute of it, but you're going to love the results. Okay. It's training. Okay. I'm going to be totally straight with you. You're not going to be comfortable the whole time. There's going to be times you're not going to like stuff. I'm just letting you know right now, but I've never seen anybody succeeded by taking a path that they enjoyed every moment of it. There's going to be hard stuff. Okay. But when you're done, you're going to leave there and you're going to have strength and power like you've never had before. You've heard people say there's strength in numbers. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. The secret of success is there's strength in power. And when you walk out of that conference room, when you walk out of that training camp on the 13th of February, that night, you're going to be exhausted. That afternoon at 4 p.m. when we finish, on February 13th, 2019, Wednesday, 4 p.m., you're going to walk out of the room and you're going to be flat out exhausted. And you're going to be more powerful and you're going to be more equipped to go out and win and crush your goals in 2019 and beyond than you have ever been before. It's $197. Right now, that's a limited time. And so make sure right now you click on your thing and go. Now, here's the deal. Thank you for joining me. We're gonna do a little Q&A. Guys, do we have the questions? They got the questions for me? So they got questions. So they've been taking your best questions that have come in here. You guys have them, right? They're getting them? You're waiting for them to print? Okay, so they're printing out the questions. So while they're doing that, I promised you for sticking out with me till the end. Congratulations. Thank you for doing it. I promised you your bonus. So let me tell you where to go get your bonus. So you're going to get the daily success map for realtors. This is something that I've only shared with, this is part of the training that, a training part that only goes to my people in the 100-day YesMasters challenge. You're getting it today as a bonus for sticking around with me. Okay. Which is how to really make your day powerful and successful. So here's how you do it. You send us an email right now. You just send a quick email to support@YesMasters.com. Okay. And this happened anytime today. You just send us an email, support@YesMasters.com. And the subject line just says bonus. That's it. Support@YesMasters.com, subject line bonus. That's it. You don't need to tell us anything in it. We see subject line bonus. We're going to send you the bonus. Okay. So that is my thank you for you investing an hour and 45 minutes of your life to spend this time with me. We've had over 700 people do that, and there's still over 550 of you on right now. Thank you for sticking around. And here's the deal. if you're committed, come train with me. Whatever you got to sacrifice, I get it. I get that it's hard. Come do it. Come do it. I want to, when you come up there, you look me in the eye. We look each other in the eye. We shake hands. You're going to know that you made the right decision. And if you come and you decide you didn't make the right decision, we'll give you money back. Okay. All right. So, all right. We got, I don't know, about a dozen questions here that you guys have posted. do we have names? Oh, we have names. Okay, cool. So your names are on here. The questions that they picked out. What they try to do is pick questions that would be relevant, not just to one person, but that would be like helpful for everybody. So here we go. Question. What is your favorite service for lead generation? Brian Casella likes Vulcan 7. Barino likes Espresso Agent. How about you? Okay, so here's what my top agents do. And I'm just going to tell you what the top agents do. Okay, here's what the top agents do. Let me get that off. We'll just do it that way. My top agents, most of them have more than one service. Okay, so here's what most of my top agents have. They have Vulcan 7 and Espresso Agent. Now, probably my number one gal with expired listings is Erin Downs. Erin Downs in Jersey City gets more expired listings and makes more money on expired listings than she makes hundreds of thousands of dollars. Probably made it $300,000 or $400,000. It was over $400,000 last year on expired listings. Okay, so pretty good. She likes the Red X, their high level thing. So the Red X has 2 different levels. I think one's called I can't remember something when you get into it's called Vortex. As a matter of fact, she loves that. So the Red X, Espresso Agent, and Vulcan 7 are the ones that I hear the most positive reviews about from real estate agents across the country. but they have different numbers. I don't know how they come up with different numbers, but that's why a lot of them they'll use Vulcan 7 and Espresso Agent, or they'll use Espresso Agent and the Red X, and they call them, and they have two different sets of numbers. Some of them have teams, like they have. So Erin Downs calls, I don't know, Vulcan 7, or she calls the Red the Red X, and Russ Downs calls her husband. He prospects people from Espresso Agent, and they get different appointments, different sets of sellers. It's crazy. There's some overlap, but that's that. And guys, no matter when you use, you're going to say, oh, there's so many disconnected numbers. It's just part of the game. Okay. Just part of the game you got to go through. Second question from, there was no name on that question. So this one is from Mina. She says, so does that mean not to kill yourself doing open houses for other agents every weekend? So Mina, great question. Yes. Well, one, don't kill yourself for anything. And doing open houses for other agents is okay if you know how to do it. We do open house events, which we train you on how to do open house events. And I'll just give you the simple short form of the open house event is you take and print out a lot of invitations to the open house event. Like you print out 400 invitations, and then you knock on the doors, 400 homes or 200 or 300, whatever it is, and you go knock on their door and you invite them to come to the open house. Because now you're talking to sellers and you're doing what they like to see an agent do if they were interested in selling their house. And that is, you're out on the street actually working for a seller, and you're not soliciting business. You're inviting them to an open house event, to a party. Okay. So instead of a solicitation, it's an invitation, and people don't resist that. In fact, I'll tell you a quick story. One of my new people that she just signed up for Double Your Listing Power for the online course, and she's coming to the training camp. And I think her name's Haley. I can't remember for sure. And no, it's not Haley. Oh, I know who it is. It's I think it's Kanawena from Hawaii. She'll be at Double Your Listing Power training camp. So she's a new coaching member, and she said, I'm going to face my fear and I'm going to go door knock. And she went into a no soliciting community where it's gated and it says no soliciting, but she wasn't soliciting. She was inviting people to an open house. So she's knocking on doors and she's going around. She's getting a lot of good contacts. People are friendly. She's inviting them. She's using the script from the Book of Yes. So in the Book of Yes, you got the script. So she's giving them the script, and not giving them the script, but she's using the script and giving them invitation, and people are responding. And then she's like, after about half a dozen doors or a dozen doors or whatever, she looks out as she's walking away, and the security guard pulls up and he waves her over and he says, ma'am, this is a no soliciting community. You can't solicit. And she goes like, I'm sorry, sir. I'm not soliciting. I'm inviting people to an open house. And he goes, oh, okay. All right, cool. Thank you. And have a good day. And she goes on and she keeps knocking doors because she wasn't soliciting. She was inviting people to come to an open house. So what happens now is you're going to have half a dozen people. She knocks on 200 or 300 doors. You're going to have half a dozen or a dozen sellers, homeowners, come to the open house because they're snoops and they want to see what's happening with their neighbor's house that are selling, but they're thinking about selling. And now you're the one that got them there. You're the one that created the buzz. You're the agent, even if it's not your listing. Now, it's better when it's your listing. That's why I say spend 100% of your time going out and generating seller leads, because now you have your own listing, do your own open house events. Okay. So great question, Mina. Nydia, I hope that's how you say your name. Nydia asks, so it's not a good idea to spend the dollars on a buyer's seminar, like first time buyer seminar. For my money, absolutely not. Now you can do it. And a lot of it, and I say a lot of it, some agents do a buyer seminar, but you'll get to hear from Peggy Yee. So Peggy from Virginia, I forgot her town, what town she's in Virginia. Anyway, she's from Virginia. Peggy Yee, making just like top producing agent. Awesome. She actually does sellers seminars. And what's crazy is her very first one she did, she had like 3 sellers show up and got 2 deals from the seller showing up. Didn't get a crowd, but she didn't need a crowd. Did a little seller seminar. And so she'll actually talk about how to do that. It's really something we train at the Real Estate Vortex. It's not really a double your listing power strategy, but if she's there, and Nydia, if you're there and you'll come up and remind me, I'll have her talk about it. It's really cool. So yes, don't spend money on a buyer seminar. Get listings, buyers will come to you. Okay. Yeah, from Vienna, Virginia. Thank you, sir. My videographer just wrote it up, said she's from Vienna, Virginia. All right. Hey, Kevin, this is from Danielle. In a market, Florida, inundated with agents. Yeah, that's a lot of markets. Inundated with agents and companies offer to cover closing costs for using their agents. How do I set myself apart? I'm new. I've had 4 sales in 2 years, was really part-time the last 2. So now she's ready to go full-time. Awesome. Congratulations, Danielle, by the way. So you're still in and you're ready to go pro. I love it. How do you set yourself apart? Be better. It's just the whole thing we talked about. When you're better and they go like, well, so this other company said they would pay for my closing costs. Will you pay for my closing costs? Say, you know, it's a great question. I don't do that. Can I tell you why? Because I help you get more money in your pocket, even after closing costs and everything. You see, there's agents out there that because they can't get you as much money, the only way they get business is they have to throw in free perks. You know, it's kind of like if you sign up for, by the way, you sign up for Sports Illustrated, you get like a free gym bag. It's because Sports Illustrated magazine is not worth crap. You don't, I mean, I can get all that information free online. I just get it for I don't get it, but people get it for the swimsuit issue and the free bag. Well, if the value's good enough, you don't have to throw in all the bonuses. Now, there's nothing wrong if you want to throw in bonuses. Totally cool. Okay. And we train on what we call the stack, how you stack benefits when you hire me. So like you offer free staging, free home warranty. And if you want to offer free closing costs, that's cool. But I would recommend that you just offer a smaller thing, like we'll give you a free home warranty, seller coverage, and so forth. Or maybe we'll pay for a home inspection. And we teach you how to do that in a way that's highly profitable for you and helps you ensure ensure that you're going to get the listing. Okay. Without having to say, I'll cover all your closing costs, because now you're giving away 25, 30% of your commission. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. So really great question. How do you compete? Get better. Okay. Come to W Listing Power Training Camp. We'll help you get better. What would be considered as the best? Because everybody's aiming to be that, aren't they? Marina asked this question. Great question. What would I consider to be the best? When you can deliver better results than everybody else. How do you measure that? I don't care. Doesn't matter. It's not, because it's not, we're not talking about going out and saying, I'm the best, I'm the great. It's not the Muhammad Ali approach. Okay. It isn't. Now, if you're the best, you can say it, right? But it's not that you say you're the best. So I'm just going to give you a personal example. My commitment is to be the best coach, real estate coach on the planet. That is my commitment. Now, I believe without any doubt that I am the best real estate coach on the planet. But I don't go around spouting it. I don't go around spouting the #1 real estate coach and all that kind of stuff. I'll tell you this, will be the best training event, because when you get there and you experience it, I'm so convinced that you're going to believe that I'll say, if you don't believe it, if you don't agree with me on that, I'll give your money back, because that's tangible. So it's subjective, but when you walk in, you're like, I'm like, I got all this for $197. That was a ripoff. I just ripped Kevin off. That's my commitment, right? I believe I'm the best. Okay. How do I communicate that? By the way I show up. This is my listing presentation, friends. I'm trying to convince you to come work with me. Come train with me for 3 days. Okay. That's it. How do you become the best? Become better than everybody else. How do you know? Because you get listings, you get them all sold. All right. And you'll get to look people in the eye. And then when you know that and you believe it, that's all that matters. And now you just got to get the word out. How do you do that? Talk to people, market, prospect. Okay. Really great question. Joanna Recinos says, what techniques do you recommend to get better results? Price every listing where it'll sell. Make sure you position where it shows great, shows easy, great pictures. Put it on the MLS with those great pictures. And we have this entire 28-step selling system that we train you on at the training camp. Will help you get those better results every single time. Okay. And then you got to lead the seller to agree. Okay. So that's how everything I've said is how you get those better results. Okay. Hi, Kevin. This is from Ranj. I hope I'm saying this name right. Ranjson. Hi, Kevin. Do you have a listing presentation PowerPoint? No. Why? Because you don't need a PowerPoint. If you're powerful, you don't need a PowerPoint. Nobody's going to hire you because of a PowerPoint. All the PowerPoint's going to do is talk about you. It's going to talk about the market. It's going to talk about your marketing plan. And I'm telling you right now, sellers don't give a crap about any of that. All they care about is them and the fact they want to move to San Diego. Can you get me there with the most money in my pocket? So when you're in the listing presentation, it talks about them, not about you. So at W Listing Power Training Camp, we're going to train you on the listing presentation. Now we're not going to go, we're not going to train, we train in W Listing Power Online, the online course that you can also get separately that supplements the training camp. I literally do training modules where we take you through the entire listing presentation. And I not only do it for you online, I not only do it for you on video, but I train you on how to present it. Okay. So it trains you on how to do it. And when you're done with that, you're like, oh, I don't need a PowerPoint. You don't need a PowerPoint. I will promise you. Okay. You don't need a PowerPoint. Great question. Okay. Dave, is the 28-step selling system part of the DYLP online? It will be, Dave. It's not yet because we haven't introduced it. Now, what I think what's on there now is a 20-step selling system. We've changed it. We've expanded the selling system simply because opportunities have changed. Things are better. There's things we're training now that you can do that get better results that didn't exist before. And so we've added them, but there are things that are real that make a difference. So this is not BS crap strategies. This is a process. So understand, guys, notice it's a selling system. It is not a marketing plan. Marketing is easy. It's so freaking easy, guys. You take good pictures, you put it on the MLS, put a good description on it. It gets syndicated to every freaking website on the planet that has the IDX feed, and they can go on realtor.com, they can go on Zillow, they can go on homes.com, they can go everywhere, and they can find the house. Marketing is easy. Every motivated, qualified seller is either going to go online or they're going to go to an agent and they're going to find every listing that fits their criteria. Okay. Marketing is nothing. Okay. This is how you sell a house for top dollar. Okay. So we don't teach a marketing plan. We teach a selling system because it gets the result. I'm going to market the crap out of your house. There's never been a seller that hired an agent to market. They hire an agent to sell. Because if I market your house and I market in the Wall Street Journal, and if it doesn't sell, I don't get a move. I want results. That's what the sellers want, right? They want results. They don't want process. They want results. So selling system does that. We will add it to the W Listing Power online course after the training camp. Okay, but we'll unveil it there for the first time. So Matt asked, how does this translate across the states that have more restrictive rules? Don't worry about it, Matt. There are no restrictive rules that restrict success. Okay, there's just not. If you're in Canada, there's a few provinces that don't let you prospect expireds. That's a pain. Okay, but look, there's very few states that have. There's only one place I know that there is one province in Alberta, Canada. There is one MLS where they have prohibited agents from saying guarantee. You can't use the word guarantee. That's a pain. Is it going to limit your success? Absolutely not. Okay, you just work around it. Okay, so how does it work? It works great. And we have agents in every state that is having massive success. The two-part question, where do you suggest getting valid expired phone numbers? From Russ Warwick. Okay, that's only one part question, but I don't know. Where do expired numbers, like we just said, the Red X, theredx.com, vulcan7.com, and espressoagent.com are my three favorites. And from all the feedback that I get from our top producing agents, those are the best three. How do you work this system if you're on a team? From Rose Maduro. So Rose, if you're like an agent on a team, you're going to have to convince your rainmaker, your team leader, to do it. If you're a listing agent on the team, then you're going to go out and get more listings because you have better skills and how to get it. If you're a buyer's agent, when you get through with a training camp, you're probably not going to be a buyer's agent anymore. It's just the way it goes. You're probably not going to want to be on a team anymore. You may stay on it for a little while, but you're going to realize, oh my gosh, I can make so much money and keep more of it working on my own. I love teams. I'm totally for teams, but my training is not designed for the people that want to make $80,000 a year. It's designed for the people who want to make $250,000, $500,000, or $1 million a year or more. That's what my training is designed for, because I train greatness, and greatness is leadership, and leaders build teams. They don't join teams. They create teams. Nothing wrong with being on a team. Okay. Nothing wrong with if that's you're where you want to be and you're comfortable and you love it. But if you want ultimate greatness, okay, you build the team. Okay. You be the quarterback. Because that's where all the money is. Okay. Just, you look at people and they look at professional athletes and they go like, those athletes are so way overpaid. Oh no, they're not. You know who's overpaid? The owner. That's who I mean, it's the guy that writes their checks. That's the guy that's rich. Okay. Mark Cuban is rich. Jerry Jones is rich. John, what's the guy that owns the Patriot? They're rich. Okay. Robert Kraft. They're the ones that are rich. Okay. Players are not the ones that are rich. I mean, from the average agent standard, a player's rich because they're making millions of dollars a year. But if you're a real player, you can make millions of dollars a year. Okay. But you be the quarterback. You be the owner of the team. That's where the real money is. Okay. Let's see. We got a few more questions here. Mitz Roma says, this sounds more and more difficult than I thought and more work than I expected. Sorry, Mitz, this is probably not for you. Okay. I would recommend Home Depot, Starbucks is hiring. Go to a place where there's not pressure. It's just a lot easier. Okay. And I'm not trying to be cruel or insulting, guys, but if you want to make 6 figures and you want to add 6 figures to your income and you want to make $250,000, you want to do what Sergio Nazaro did his rookie year and make over $300,000 in the next year, you are going to work your butt off. Okay. Bill Gates worked night and day. Steve Jobs worked night and day. Warren Buffett worked night and day. You look at the greatest people who make a fortune. They work their butt off and there's no shortcut. Okay. Everybody wants to be like, I want to be like Oprah. You do not want to put the hours in that Oprah Winfrey put in to build her career, because she would work 70, 80, 90, 100, 120 hours a week. You're like, I didn't know there were 120 hours in a week. Right. Okay. Oh, this sounds so much harder. I was hoping for something like easy. Okay. Go back and live home with your parents. That's easy. Please don't do that. Hi, Hedel. So Hedel, I know Hedel from my Kevin at 7. Hey, she said, you said technology will be one of the game changers. It is the game changer. I mean, right now it's game changer. What would technology change mean, and what includes in technological change? Well, just because online information, homeowners, buyers and sellers, they don't need you for information anymore. It's all available online for free. What they need you for is expertise. See, they don't need you to go like, I need to, what are homes are on the market right now? How much is my home worth? They don't need you for that. How do I get more money in my pocket? How do I sell my home for more money? That's what they need your help for. How do you deliver a result? How do you negotiate? How do you handle inspections and repair requests so that you help the seller keep more money in their pocket? I'm telling you guys, agents are not trained on negotiating. You don't have the expertise. You are kissing off tens of thousands of dollars from your client's pocket every time, and they don't even know it because you're not an expert. You're not the best at delivering them the best results. And that's stuff that we train. Let's see. Okay, we got a couple more here. Let's see. Is there an alternative learning to the W Listing Power Training Camp if we can't join in LA? So it is the only training camp the only W Listing Power Training Camp in 2018 is this one. So it'll be February. The next one will be sometime in 2019. I'm sorry, 2020. This is 2019. It's the only one in 2019. My team's laughing at me. The next one will be in 2020. We do have 2 other training camps this year in June and in September, but they're FX Extreme Training Camp and the Real Estate Vortex Training Camp. If you want to really crush it and add like $250,000 to your income, you come to all 3. Okay. It's the trifecta. Okay. Because everyone's going to help you fill in more gaps to how to accelerate and build your business. And whether 24, 36 months from now, you can be looking at a 7-figure income. Okay. Again, like I said, this is not for most of you, because most of you your goals aren't high enough that you need this. If you're okay just doing a deal or 2 a month, you really don't need, you get W Listing Power online. You can get it online right now. It's more, but you can get it online, and it'll walk you through the stuff that'll help you make that money. Okay. Let's see. Oh, my computer went to sleep. Oh, you're telling me I need to get a drink of water? All right. Let's see. I got 4 more questions. So let me knock these out real quick. They're telling me to take a drink of water because my throat's dry. Much better. Okay. Let's see. We got that question answered. Leah Frazier, best seller lead generation, mail out, Vulcan 7, door knock, top 3. I'm like you, terrified of door knocking here in Tampa, disappointed. Okay. I'm not sure exactly what that means, Leah. Disappointed in what? Best seller lead generation. Okay. Not all lead generation strategies are created equal. Number 1 best seller lead generation is build relationships with people that will refer you business, your A team, that's the best. Okay. Second best is talking directly to expired listings, new expired listings every day. Phone call, door knock's better. Face-to-face is better, but it's harder. It takes more time. Phone call. But what we train you is you've got to have a multi-dimensional approach. If all you're doing is calling expired listings, you'll get some listings, but you could get 3 times as many listings if you call them, email them, text them, knock on their door, send them something in the mail. They see stuff in the neighborhood. They find you online, and you send them to the right place online where that now they get to check you out on your terms, not Google's terms, and they can't tell you no. And they're going to go like, okay, that's the agent right there. That's the one I've been looking for. And they have they may not have even talked to you yet. That's the power of the online, the seller online part of the vortex. The seller online vortex will help you get listings from people who won't give you the time of day because they don't want pressure. So they won't talk to you. They hang up on you. They say, we're not interested. And what we train you on is how do you get in front of them and get them to go check you out online, not to a regular website that they just go look at and bounce off because it looks like a knockoff of Zillow. Okay. But a seller online vortex that pulls them in and makes them go like, I like her. Wow. And wow. And she'll do that. And she guarantees results. She guarantees that I want to talk, at least I want to talk to her, and they'll talk to you because they check you out. So we train you on all of that. The online vortex, unbelievable game changer on that. But you've got to have the multidimensional approach. Okay. And it's simple. Okay. All right. Real quick. Javier, I'm a new agent. No money to buy expired listings. I was preparing to knock doors, but now you said at the end of the old school won't work. I'm frustrated. Okay. Javier, knocking doors will work, but it's going to be hard if that's all you're doing. So that's why you need a multidimensional approach. Okay, where you can call them and knock on their door. But now, if I can't get them to answer, what can I leave at the door that actually will get them to come check me out and then go like, okay, I want to talk to Javier. That's the multidimensional approach. Okay, and yeah, it's going to take some time and it's going to take some expertise to master that system. Okay, like if I leave a business card and all it says is, call me, they're not going to call you. Now, 1 in 1,000 will, but I want 1 out of 5 to call me. And just giving them a business card with a phone number is not going to make that happen. I've got to have an online vortex that they'll go online, check me out, watch me talk on a video where I can communicate my message in a compelling way, offer them and make them an audacious promise that makes them go like, I have to talk to that agent. Okay, that's the power of the vortex, the power of the multidimensional approach. Julie A, I'm already the #1 agent in my area, but feel like you can teach me more. Am I a suitable attendee? Oh, Julie, absolutely. Yes, you will forever. Like, just come. You come, Julie. When we're done, if you don't agree, I'll pay for your trip. Okay. If you're that good and you want to be better, but you gotta be willing to learn and you got to be coachable. Because if you're walk in with, somebody walk in, they got this ego, like, okay, show me something. Right? And your mind's closed, you're probably not going to learn anything. Or do you want to crush it? Are you looking to double, triple, 4x, 5x your income and not have to work more hours? Then yes, it's absolutely for you. This is not a new agent training. Okay. It is not a new agent training. It's great for new agents, but it's not designed for new agents. It's designed for agents who want to add 6 figures to their business, whether that be if you want to add 100,000 to your business or 500,000 to your business in the next 12 months, that's for you. 7, how do you sustain in a market in like New York City where it's heavily saturated? Become better. You got to be better than everybody else. I live in Los Angeles. There are more in the beach cities right here. I mean, if a cop pulls you over, they ask for your real estate license because they know you're more likely to have that than your driver's license. Stephen, okay, we answered that question. Last 2 questions. Could this be also for Canadian Montreal agents? Natalie, absolutely. We have agents coming from multiple countries, and Sam Giuliani came from Canada, double your listing power training camp, went home, brand new agent in 9 months, made over $100,000 from nothing. Okay. So absolutely for Canadian agents. Fran says, I have been in love with you for a few years now. I now got my husband in love with you as well. Well, we can just have us a good family reunion. We would like to know how many realtors you have helped in Canada. Our real estate laws, et cetera, are very different. Please tell us, are you able to help Canadian agents? I think I just answered that question. And the answer is absolutely yes. I've helped I've helped agents like the #2 Keller Williams agent in Canada that went through my 100-day YesMasters challenge, added 6 figures to his income like that. And that to brand new agents. And we've got a lot of agents that will be here from Canada to learn. With expireds, there's a little different workaround, but because of the real estate vortex, the seller vortex, it is so easy to work around that now because of the multidimensional approach, which we'll train you on. Okay, that's all the questions we got time for. I've gone way longer than I wanted to, but I just wanted to help you guys. And thank you for joining me today. If you're still on the fence, just get off the fence. Commit. I'm all in. I'll do whatever it takes. Get your registration done today. Make sure you send, for sticking on, make sure you send us an email to support@YesMasters.com, subject line bonus, and we'll send you the daily success map for realtors. And I will look forward to meeting you guys in Los Angeles here in a couple of weeks. It's going to be awesome. Thanks for your time. Have an awesome day. Play to win, and always expect yes. People in the hotbeds have a different relationship with practicing. All in the preparation.
We are so hooked to Kevin, his teachings, and how we all are designed for greatness. We have transformed our lives, my wife and I, from where we were last year to where we've come. We've 10x'd our business. And I would attribute everything, the mindset change and what transformations we've gone through, to one entity, and that is Kevin.
It has doubled our business in this past year. It has given us more skill set, changed our mindset, which I think is huge. And Kevin is just really ultimately our hero and the best coach ever.
When I heard Kevin, he absolutely blew me away. Everything he said was just genuine. It was spot on. I'm an athlete myself, and I never knew how to take the skills that I had as an athlete and actually transfer them over into business.
Just started working with Kevin, listened to a lot of his presentations over the last year. I'm diving into those words that I think will help people to understand what it is that I bring.
This is my 6th Kevin Ward event that I've been to. I was with another coaching program, and I was in a year contract with that program, and actually 6 months into it, I found Kevin online, and I was learning more from Kevin's free YouTube videos than I was getting from my actual coach.
W listing power has changed my life in the sense that it's helped me overcome my main obstacle, not only in real estate, which is that I'm new to the business and I don't believe in myself. These past couple days have been the first time I've been able to really, punch through that wall and find that change.
I've been doing real estate part-time. I had at most done 4 deals a year. Showed up last year and I had a lot of stuff I had to get rid of in my life. And so fast forward a year later, I'm at my 2nd event, right? Obviously, this has been fantastic, and we're 6 months into the year. I've done 18 deals so far this year, and I'm just like, I never thought I could do what I'm doing now. I'm just so happy.
I'm a real estate broker. I've been in the business for about 6 years. Kevin's training is like no other. It's really been life transforming for me, for my business, for my life. It's not just about how to make more money in real estate, but really about how to have the life that you want and how to create that through real estate.
I've been with Kevin Ward for about 2 years. I'm part of his inner circle, and we love it. He's authentic, he has heart. He can take your business like he's taken ours from a couple $100,000 a year to this year, we're gonna probably do 2 to 3 times that.
No one gets in real estate just to sell a lot of houses. We got in real estate to have a life. And at Double Your Listing Power Training Camp 2019, we will help accelerate you on the path toward having the income that you want so that you can have the lifestyle that you deserve. You can get yes without the BS and live into your true greatness while having the impact that you were meant for. So register today and we'll see you right here for Double Your Listing Power Training Camp 2019. We'll see you here. People in the hotbeds have a different relationship with practicing. All in the preparation.
We are so hooked to Kevin, his teachings, and how we all are designed for great